maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
This hour of Talkin Ball is brought to you by Talent Heating and Air. When you need service, rely on Talent. From system installations to tune-ups, rely on Talent. Online at talenthvac.com.
AL cert number 21014.
This is Thomas with Talent Heating and Air Conditioning.
Thomas, I need you guys to light my flame sensor.
Excuse me?
Yeah, my gas valve's not flowing, buddy.
What do y'all need over there?
Oh, I need you to exchange my heat exchanger.
You don't have to speak the love language of a furnace to call Talent Heating and Air Conditioning. We can come out and do a $49 tune-up, and you'll get savings off of that, and we'll be able to figure out what's going on with your system.
Can you keep my flame lit this Valentine's Day?
We can definitely keep your flame lit.
Who do I gotta call?
Call Talent at 256-503-4490.
Come on, baby, light my fire.
That was weird.
It's Talent Heating and Air. They're live, they're local. Give them a call today.
Welcome to Talkin Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
Well, neither Scott nor Drew right out of the gate for this 3-hour tour. I am in Memphis, Tennessee. I hope I sound better than I sound in my head right now because it's still morning happens way too early each and every day. But this is what we do here at Talkin Ball. And this is why I hand things over to Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond for the most part, more than anything. But anyway, we have got a full show on tap for you this morning as the head women's basketball coach at the University of Alabama, Kristy Curry, is going to join us next hour. Also, the Huntsville High boys basketball coach, as Huntsville is a winner last night over Grissom, Christian Schweers. He is going to join us as well. And the opposition, if you will, but both Sparkman and Huntsville punched their tickets into the state tournament. And Coach Obadiah Threadgill is going to join us in the last hour of the program. But the big breaking news, and let me just double check. Incidentally, if you'd like to call in, you can do so on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline at 256-576-4977. That is the telephone number if you would like to participate here this Friday morning. 256-576-4977, the number to partake. And yes, the big story, at least around college football, happened yesterday in the state of Mississippi, where a particular judge not only had a ruling in favor of Trinidad Chambliss, but also the judge was in particular ready to throw a contempt of court charge towards the lawyers, plural, for the NCAA because they left before the ruling was made public, and the judge did not take very kindly to that as well. And so that's where we stand now. The NCAA going 1-for-1 this year, or this week rather, with what happened in regards to the case of Charles Bediako. That went the NCAA's way. And honestly, that was one of the first wins for the NCAA that I can remember in a long time. And that had a lot to do with how the NCAA views international players playing professionally overseas compared to American-born players playing professionally as well. Now, albeit the top level being the NBA standard more than anything. But nonetheless, the commissioner of the Southeastern Conference, of course, remember, came out, and I don't know how much of a factor that was, but we'll see whether or not that is moved at all moving forward in that argument. But Trinidad Chambliss now back to his stomping grounds there in Oxford, Mississippi, as he gets set for another year of eligibility. And at least just taking a look at the court documents. And by the way, if you want to follow the whole thing, I would recommend going over to Ross Dellinger's Twitter account. That's Ross Dellinger, who was in the courtroom and chronicled everything, and just kind of blow by blow, if you will. And Trinidad Chambliss, it's pretty damning what the judge had to say in regards to the NCAA acting in bad faith, denying the medical red shirt that he claimed back in 2022. And the judge just threw the book at the NCAA, and now the NCAA is heading up to Knoxville, Tennessee today, and another hearing, which I don't know as much about the Joey Aguilar case, but I know it was tied into that lawsuit with Diego Pavia. But Drew DeArmond, how are you this morning?
I'm good, Steve. How are you?
I heard something right there. Okay.
All right. We got it now? What's up, man?
Okay. All right. Good morning, Drew.
Are we on 1 or 4? Which one is it? All right.
Whatever you're talking into right now, that is the magic number.
Yeah, we got it. And it's number 1. I was thinking because I'm in the first seat, as you know.
Okay.
When we do
Scott's usual. Yeah, Scott's
when we
chair.
do the Bama recap show, and I couldn't remember if it was 4 or 1. It's been a minute since I've been over here, but we're on 1 right now, and I just wonder if all the jackass national media is going to accuse Ole Miss of circumventing the system and cheating, the way they did with Bediako for a month. So
I'm not. Yeah, that you know what? That's fair. That is fair.
It's absolutely fair.
Yeah.
And again, I'm happy for Trinidad Chambliss. But what they did to Nate Oates in Alabama was Bush League and stupid. And Alabama was just taking advantage of a system that's broken and live by the flimsy take of, he signed a 2-way contract is stupid. Because you got pros from overseas who've been being paid for years who come over to the United States because the NC Double Dumb gives them 3 or 4 years of eligibility and they're 22, 23 years old.
The only thing that I would, the biggest difference is the commissioner saying something. I would want to ask Greg Sankey why he felt the need to make a statement in regards to the Bediako case.
Yeah, because he has said nothing about football, right?
Thank you. That's exactly my point.
Gator-faced opportunist. That's all he is. He's a gator-faced bureaucrat opportunist. And I can't wait to ask him some hard questions if we get a one-on-one in Tampa, Florida.
Well, I did email.
And he deserves them.
I did email the commissioner, and he did respond to me. It was in regards to some conversations that, frankly, that surround collegiate athletics. It's our conversations we had on the drive with Mac Brown and Richard Hendricks as well.
And those were outstanding, by the way, the last couple of weeks.
They had definite ideas on the collective bargaining issue and where to move forward, honestly. And it was kind of healthy to think about, a plan moving forward surrounding these complex issues. And that's why I wanted to reach out to the commissioner. But I would tell you that there's also a case of why he felt the need to make a statement. Now, I know it's been reported that had no bearing on the outcome, but I cannot help but think that was a factor, even if it wasn't publicly stated in the courtroom in Tuscaloosa. But anyway.
Well, Steve, here's the thing. Your own commissioner basically turned his back on one of his schools. Okay, that's the way I took it.
Yeah.
Because he's the commissioner of the SEC. He's not the president of the NCAA or the commissioner of collegiate athletics. He's the commissioner or the czar or whatever you want to call him of collegiate athletics. He's the commissioner of the SEC, and he should have been protecting his member schools, and he didn't. If I was Alabama, I'd tell him to kiss my ass.
By the way, I'm in Memphis, Tennessee here this morning. The UH Chargers winners last night against CBU, scoring 46 points in the second half over CBU. It's now 16 in a row that the Chargers have beaten on the men's side. The women were dominant winners as well, so that sets up a very intriguing doubleheader tomorrow that you'll be able to hear right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, as I'll be in Jackson, Tennessee, Chargers and Bulldogs tomorrow afternoon beginning at 2 o'clock. In fact, that'll start. We've got quite a bit of basketball coming up on the station. And just to let folks know, tomorrow afternoon over on Talk Radio WZZN at 1:45, it's Kentucky at Florida. That's intriguing.
Yeah.
Florida, obviously the class of the Southeastern Conference. You can hear that game over on Talk Radio WZZN. And then, as I mentioned, Chargers and Bulldogs tomorrow at 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock. And then Alabama and South Carolina. That pregame starts at 6:30 late night in T-Town, which I know you will not be there, Drew DeArmond, because you got Valentine's Day plans with Huntsville High.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
That's right. And the game, I think, is actually at 7:30, Steve. I'm talking about.
Well, no, that's pregame. Pregame 6:30.
Yeah.
Tip off 7:30.
You're talking in radio parlance. I apologize.
Yes, I am.
You're right. They have an hour pregame show with Chris Stewart and Brian Pasek. They do a great job of setting the stage against Lamont Paris, South Carolina, coming to Alabama in Tuscaloosa tomorrow night. You're right.
Then Sunday, we've got Alabama, Oklahoma women's basketball for you. Yep. And we'll talk to Kristy Curry coming up in hour number 2. And I'm kind of burying the lead here because I still don't know what the format is. But Sunday afternoon turning into evening, the NBA All-Star Game will be right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. I fill out this stuff that we get from ESPN Radio.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I'm seeing the schedule for the All-Star Game, and it's saying round robin 1 and round robin 2. And what in the world are they doing to the All-Star Game? I guess trying to circumvent some kind of entry. I really have no idea what the NBA is doing to the All-Star Game, but I have not. I can't tell you the last All-Star Game that I watched.
Well, Steve, I can attest to that. I haven't watched one in years. And then the other thing I can attest to as well, on TikTok, YouTube, whatever, you get all these alerts or they show you these shorts or what. And I saw a top 10 plays from the 1988 All-Star Game. And it brought back so many great memories of when I actually used to give a damn. And I actually watched it.
Yeah.
Because I don't watch it anymore. LeBron's ruined it. His generation has ruined it. They've ruined the NBA. And it's seeping down to the college level with guys like Darren Peterson, who doesn't even want to play half the games because he's too busy protecting his draft stock, doesn't want to compete. That's my problem with players today. They don't even want to compete, most of them. They sit out.
I mean, but truth be told, now even back in the 80s, there wasn't a whole lot of defense getting played.
There wasn't.
In the All-Star
I completely
game.
agree with that. It's like 145 to 140.
Yeah,
pretty much the only defense that was played was in the fourth quarter.
Well, where you would, at least I remember noticeably the defense looking different from the first quarter to the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
just
when it was winning time in the fourth quarter, guys just it got serious.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
They were actually competing against each other. It didn't look like the And1 mixtape tour. And that's the problem. And I'm blaming all the players. I don't want to hear some Karen calling in either about how it's so much better today. It's garbage. That's why they're having to change it constantly, Steve. They're changing it constantly because the product is garbage. Okay?
I don't know how to fix the NFL All-Star game. Honestly, there's not a whole lot of All-Star games, be it Major League Baseball or whatever the case may be.
I'll be honest with you. I think it's time to scrap them all and just have some sort of break. And maybe have a dunk contest and 3-point shootout and skills challenge in the NBA, and then in the NFL have some sort of because they do theirs at the end of the season. Have some sort of awards dinner, and because it's a very physical game. If you want to have some podunk like flag football game and have a little fun, do that. And then in baseball, have a home run derby, a little bit of a celebration, but screw the All-Star game.
And a futures game. I like the futures game.
Yeah, the futures game is cool because it gives you a look at the guys coming up. Just have a futures game. Give these guys the day off or several days off.
Maybe they're focused on the wrong thing. And listen, I know superstars carry the torch for a lot of these major programs in a lot of these leagues, but I mean, for instance, tonight is the Rising Stars game. I'd have more of an interest in that, and that is 8:00 tonight. By the way,
ain't gonna be no Cooper Flag though. So
that is true.
If you're not one of your biggest drawing cards, the next Larry Bird, closest that I've ever seen. I mean, he's giving people the business already. And he's 18.
I know Richard is on hold right now, but if you'd like to populate the phone lines, 256-576-4977. Let's take our first time out. Richard, if you hang with us, we'll get right to you. It's a Friday morning of Talkin Ball right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. This is Charger basketball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Swings it over to Jordan Mabe. Mabe attacks it. Boy, Jordan wants some. He'll scoop it. Lays it up and one for Jordan Mabe. Oh,
this is Charger basketball.
3 in the corner. Up and good for Q. He now has 20 in the game. We're tied at 66.
This is Charger basketball.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at the service department at Woody Anderson Ford. When you need service on your vehicle, whether it's a Ford or any other make, you want to get into Woody Anderson Ford where their expert service technicians will get it diagnosed and repaired right away, the right way. And while you are there, check out all the new and pre-owned vehicles at Woody Anderson as well. They are ready to make you the best deal possible. Visit Woody Anderson Ford today.
Woody Anderson Ford on Jordan Lane in Huntsville, Hughes Road in Madison, and online at WoodyAndersonFord.com.
I'm Abraham here for Valley Equipment Rental. If you're a contractor installing fences, you need Valley Equipment Rental for augers of all sizes. And if you need a forklift to get those shingles up high on a roof, Valley Equipment has 10K lifts that reach to 56 feet. Valley also has tow-behind lifts that have a working height of 35 to 55 feet as well for power washing those two-story homes or doing whatever else you need to do. Lifts, forklifts, tow-behind lifts, 35 feet and up, they have your lift at Valley Equipment Rental. 2 locations, North and South Parkway. Valley Equipment Rental.
From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopay. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road.
1 in 3 adults in America have pre-diabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Years 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mom my. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse prediabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Bet he can't say that in reverse.
Talkin Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Weekday mornings beginning at 7 a.m. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
It is a Friday morning of Talkin Ball. No train coming, Brody? No? Yeah, you're not going to.
Not today.
No, you're not going to fire that one my way again? It's all good. 256-576-4977, the number to be a part of the program. Drew's in studio. I'm in Memphis, Tennessee. I always feel the need to say it that way, like Andy Kaufman did back in the day when he was part of some Memphis wrestling.
Well, did you get any Memphis barbecue?
We're doing that today. We're going to Central today.
Okay.
So we're going there for and Central's my favorite, honestly. But I know everybody loves Rendezvous, but Central.
I had Rendezvous back. I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you a little small story, Steve, before we go to the phone lines. I had the Rendezvous one time, and I was in 8th grade, and me and a handful of my friends, and it was Nelson Bowman's father who took us because, again, there was no problem getting tickets back in those days at the Liberty Bowl. But we went and watched Alabama and Memphis play, and it was Memphis State back then.
That's right.
And William Curry was coaching.
Oh, boy.
And Alabama held on for dear life and won the game 10-7. And it was. I
wonder what it's like to sit next to you during a game. I mean, I've done games with you, but just from a fan perspective, how into it do you get, Drew?
Oh, I get into it. I mean, Scott sat next to me in the national championship game when your dogs beat the Tide.
That's right.
We were sitting in there.
33-18. Let's reminisce.
Yeah, it was a horrendous fourth quarter. It was Alabama led 18-14 heading into it, and we know the run that the dogs went on and won it, and I was into it, and certainly back in those days I was into it as well. But Alabama, and I believe that was 1989. It was either 89 or 91, but I believe it was 89.
And the Liberty Bowl looks the same because Christian Brothers across the street from the Liberty Bowl.
Right, exactly. So you're right over there.
Yep.
And the reason I had to just sort of shake my head is it's the first time I ever heard the name Joe Lee Dunn because he was the defensive coordinator for Memphis. And needless to say, Alabama had a hard time. And I'll say this, and let me Alabama had trouble with the blitz all day long. And, because of the looks they were getting. And they were able to bottle up Alabama's running game and just bottle up their offense. And Alabama was fortunate to escape because Memphis did fake a punt and they scored a touchdown, but it was called back via penalty. And here's the ironic thing. The guy that caught the touchdown pass that could have won the game for Memphis was none other than the Reverend Isaac Bruce.
Wow.
Who was playing for the Memphis State Tigers back in those days.
That's a good memory right there. Yeah. Richard is on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. How are you this morning, Richard?
Richard, was that 89 or 91?
No, it was before Homer got in there because I was at the game. It was the Memphis game was a Curry game.
Yeah, it was.
So it'd been probably like 88. It wasn't 89. It was 87 or 88. So
I'll look it up. It was the first game of the 89 season where Alabama won 35-7.
Well, no, that wasn't
no,
it.
That was at Legion Field. That was at Legion Field, so maybe it was 88.
It was in Memphis because I went with Kerry Clark. I was there with Kerry, so I went to the game.
I always forget the exact year because, you're right. It wasn't. I don't believe it was. I'm looking. Yeah, because like you said, Steve, it was the first game. Because that's something. They didn't start the season that year until September 16th in '89.
I mean, could you imagine?
Yeah, I know. I mean, wow.
Hey, Steve, it may still be there, but Cozy Corner, I think, is a good barbecue place in Memphis. I've been, we used to go to the SEC tournament when it was there years ago. I believe that was the name of the place. So, one thing on this, the Bediaco thing. Yesterday, I've learned new words here. The temporary restraining order for a guy from College of Charleston was denied after he played 20 games. So I guess that was lead on Sports Center last night.
Probably
cheating
not.
for 20 games. So got 20 games, and it's buried. Field of 68 did, put that out. But it's, I don't really. I mean, people say it's because Alabama wins all the time, but basketball. I mean, I don't understand the, the hate for Alabama and Bediaco when you got guys. Well, you got this guy that had his recruiting visit or signed with Arizona State in 2017. Now wants to play. Is 25 years old, and he's on a recruiting visit to Maryland today.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll let him too. And Charlie Baker will just say, we've got to give certain opportunities to these student athletes.
Well, one thing is,
that somebody slap him.
I think it's the draft. They don't want a baseball type draft, these guys where they can come back.
Well, then why do they do it in baseball? They let Chris Winkie come back. They're totally hypocritical. They are total hypocrites.
Well, no. The thing is, the coaches don't want it. I'm saying, the draft rule about when you have to pull out is an NCAA rule that the coaches wanted. It is not. I think that's why Sankey, the other schools basically told Sankey to tell Alabama to shut up. Because you got basically, your roster now. They got the transfer portal somewhat fixed in basketball. By June 1, when summer school starts, first semester summer school, Alabama knew their roster last year. Everybody was there, I think, except maybe Hannah, whose school hadn't ended. It was Jemison.
Yeah.
He was up in Connecticut. Their school hadn't ended, and they hadn't signed Collins. But everybody else was on campus. Like this year, Amari Allen could go in the draft and then go, well, I didn't like getting drafted 31st by, whatever team. I'm going to come back to Bama. And, but you got more leverage to get more money out of NIL that way. So I think it was I think Sankey was getting pressure from all these other coaches. They want their roster set. It was nothing to do with Bediaco. It was just, it's like baseball. You guys talked to Rob Vaughn, I guess yesterday or the day before. He doesn't know his roster half the time until school starts.
Yeah, and he was talking about losing a kid the year before. I was watching some stuff that he had done. They lost a JUCO signee who got drafted in the 12th round, who they had been counting on that would have been on the team last year, but he signed. So yeah, I mean, it's.
I think a guy I went to high school with got drafted 3 times because he went to Auburn. This is the 70s, but out of high school, and if you go to college, it's after 3 years. And he got drafted after his junior year, then his senior year. The guy got drafted 3 different times out, and that's why Bryce Harper went JUCO.
Yeah,
you go after 2 years.
He went. Yeah, he reclassified and went to JUCO out in Nevada and put up monster numbers. And here's I got both you guys on the phone. Both you guys I consider very sharp people, and I want to see if you get this right. What position did Bryce Harper play in junior college?
Ooh,
shortstop maybe, or I don't remember.
Oh yeah, gosh, I'll say center field.
Well, here's an. I'll give you one more hint to see if you paid attention when he was here in our town. What position did Brewer Hicklin play at Huntsville High baseball?
Wasn't he first base?
Well, I'll just say this: Brewer Hicklin and Bryce Harper were both catchers.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought he was a catcher, but I just said no way because, like I said, usually your best players, your shortstop, especially in high school.
Yeah. So they were both catchers, man. Because I watched Brewer play a lot of high school baseball in addition to football, and then
Bryce. Did not realize he was a catcher.
And then Bryce put up ridiculous. I first, I'm like everybody else. I saw Bryce on the front of Sports Illustrated. I read the story about him.
Yep.
I thought he was one of the more arrogant people I'd ever read about because it's not arrogance if you back it up. Dion did it on the field as a football player, and Bryce Harper said, I want to be Mickey Mantle. That's basically what he said. And now he's one of the highest paid players in baseball. And now it's kind of ironic. He was an outfielder because they didn't want him to wear down his body as a catcher. And now he's converted to a first baseman. But go ahead, Richard.
I was going to say, on this, NCAA stuff, these guys from Europe come over and they get whatever they get paid is actual and necessary expenses.
Yeah.
And if they would come out and state, what that dollar amount is, is that 100,000? Is that 35,000? Is that 500,000? And I'll say one thing: most of these Europeans over here are not real good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, you watched the Ole Miss game, didn't you, Drew?
Yeah, and those guys were decent, but they certainly weren't Carl Engstrom.
No.
No, I mean, no, they're better than that, but I mean, they weren't better than Philon or
right.
I mean, basically, Alabama's starting five. I can't remember.
But let's be honest, especially if you watch that second half, Richard, that's as good as Alabama has looked in a while. Maybe back to the Illinois game. I'm just saying
Illinois, there's where some good foreign players are, and then there's been a lot of them at Gonzaga.
Yep.
Well, the only thing is that the one thing is the best guy was it's the former pro's son, but he played college for at Cal. So I mean, he's been over here since he's 18. So Stojakovic or whatever.
Stojakovic, his son.
Yeah. And I'll say this: Big Z and those guys, I think at least they're 18 or so. I mean, they're not 25.
I don't have a problem with it, Richard. I'll be honest. I said this on the show this week. If these foreign kids come over here and they're 18 or 19, I have no problem with it. But once they start coming over here, they're 22, 23, 24, and the NCAA goes, okay, rubber stamp, you're a freshman or a sophomore. Shut up. Ain't no freshman or sophomore. If they're a certain age, then they get 1 year of eligibility, Andrew Gaze.
Whenever you graduate high school, whatever age that would be, you're clocked for 5 years.
Whatever preparatory school, you've got 5 years of eligibility once you graduate high school or some prep school.
Unless you go on a church mission or join the Army. I mean, if you have something extraordinary, it starts at 5 years, and too bad. Instead of having these guys 25 years old out here playing, but that's the NCAA. So, well, let me run here, guys.
And guess what, Richard? Before you go, Richard, one more
1987.
thing. Google is an amazing thing. I Googled this. Your final score: Alabama 10, Memphis State 7. Jay Barker connects with Kevin Lee for a 75-yard touchdown in the first quarter. Turnovers defense. Alabama's defense and special teams held off the Tigers, with John Copeland recovering a fumble and Memphis missing multiple field goal opportunities. And I didn't remember it being this late in the season. The win improved Alabama to 9-1 under Coach Gene Stallings before their matchup with Auburn, while Memphis State finished, in other words, this was the 91 season, while Memphis State finished their season 5-6. And then Memphis had previously upset Southern Cal and Mississippi State that season. And as I said, with Joe Lee Dunn doing the calling on defense. And where did Joe Lee Dunn end up shortly? Mississippi State. Ole Miss. But he also coached at Mississippi State as well. So, there you go.
See you guys later here.
Thank you, Richard. So it was 91, Steve. I was thinking it was either 89 or 91. I just don't remember. I was like you. I was thinking, just like you said in 89, it was the first game of the season. I was thinking it was in the first part of the season. I didn't realize it was right before the 91 Iron Bowl.
Mid-November.
Yeah. And that was David Palmer's first Iron Bowl. And that's when my good friend and former classmate and his daughter is now a softball player at Auburn. So congratulations to him. Chad Hastings and I were sitting in, I want to say, one of our history classes, some kind of political science class. And he was trying to convince me that Thomas Bailey was as good as David Palmer. He certainly changed his opinion after that Iron Bowl, though.
Let's take our second time out. It is a Friday morning. This first hour belongs to you on the way into work. Drive safely there. Looks like a beautiful day. I hope it's just as pretty in Huntsville as it is here in Memphis here this Friday morning. 256-576-4977. We'll be right back. Good morning.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 50s. A couple of folks could see the lower 60s. We drop into the upper 30s, lower 40s as we head into the overnight. Valentine's Day is going to come with plenty of cloud cover and scattered showers across the Tennessee Valley. Temperatures climbing into the lower 60s. Better chances for rain on Sunday.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list, and maybe a little scary. But it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me at Dan, that is Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loaders from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best, and this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Thompson Tractor knows how much value you place on your customer satisfaction. It's how you build your business. It's also how we build ours. Since 1957, hardworking folks like you have counted on Thompson to provide the absolute best lineup of equipment in the industry, all backed by a customer service and product support team that time and again have proven to be second to none. It's all about maintaining peak performance. Always has been, always will be. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor, we're here for you.
Isn't the story of the prodigal son an amazing story? Basically, a rowdy boy who literally wished his father dead, ran away, and consumed his wealth with hard and fast living. Yet the father looked for his return every day, and when the boy got tired of eating pig slop, he decided to return. What did the father do? As soon as he saw that boy, he ran to him, threw his arms around him, and killed the fatted calf for a great celebration. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of the Cross Point Church. If you're looking for a church home, come see us, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison.
More exciting than breakfast and a lot more enjoyable to cook, brunch is ideal for sharing.
Brunch with the Big Dog, the Tom Abraham Show. Weekdays starting at 10 on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Back here on Talkin Ball, Drew in studio. I'm on location. If you're watching on WZZN TV, no, I don't have a camera on me. I didn't think that would be fair to my roommate or me, but
who you having the room with, man? Who's hearing that train a coming?
That is the Reverend Ryberg.
No.
There is, and he's literally walking out of the room as I'm talking right now. But he's an early riser as well, military background.
Absolutely.
But anyway, how much of the Olympics are you watching, Drudy Arman?
5 seconds.
So I don't know why, but the one thing I will stop on, and it's happening right now, is curling. I have no idea why I have this fascination with curling.
Yeah.
But right now, Switzerland up over China. This is on the women's tournament, 1-0. Canada over the United States, 2-0. But there is another event that there's ice hockey going on, but skeleton looks like it was made out of a bad bet where you're going down face first into what's usual for a bobsled, where it looked like it was just like, let's see if you can go down face first. No, I don't think I want to do that. That looks crazy more than anything. But the overall medal count has Norway in first place and followed by Italy, then the United States. Actually, it's just flipped. Italy now has 17 total medals, Norway 16 total medals, and the United States 14. And that's the other story. I don't know how much you've read on this. The medals themselves are breaking. At least literally breaking apart. It happened on the very first day where some Olympian was jumping up and down on the podium, as you would expect everybody to do.
Yeah.
And it just breaks apart. So I know that was a storyline there. And then, oh yeah, you'll get a kick out of this. There was, I saw this American skier Breezy Johnson. There's some great names.
Is that,
I can remember.
This is a female, right?
No.
Okay.
No. You'll enjoy this. Breezy Johnson accepted his boyfriend's proposal. Connor Watkins.
I knew you were going to go somewhere there. I knew this was going to be a TMZ moment.
But it's a good name. Breezy Johnson. It's kind of like Peekaboo Street back in the day.
Yeah,
so
except that was a female.
That is correct. Yes. But evidently now Breezy Johnson engaged to his boyfriend.
I'd rather give thoughts and prayers out to Lindsey Vaughn, a quick recovery.
Yes, absolutely. Boy, have you seen the photos of that? That
awful.
is just, whew.
She's a lot better looking than Breezy, I'm sure.
You're welcome, everybody. Good Friday morning, 256-576-4977. Coming up in hour number 2 will be a lot more guest heavy. Christian Schweers is on the other side of the top of the hour. That will be followed by women's basketball coach Kristy Curry as the Crimson Tide get ready to play host to Oklahoma coming up on Sunday, in a game that you'll be able to hear right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. And coming up in hour number 3, my first 3-hour endeavor here on the morning show.
That's right, because you guys have never done that for the drive. So.
Oh, no. Well, wait. Well, yeah, when we first started, this is pre-you.
Wow.
When we first started, we were 3 hours.
Were you really?
We were 3 hours, and I remember this was before we got Paul Feinbaum on the station.
Gotcha.
And as soon as Paul made the flip, we started 2 hours. And after the very first show, Wes looks at me and says, "We're never doing 3 hours again."
So were y'all 4 to 7, or what was
That's
it?
right. That's right. 4 to 7. Yeah.
Wow.
At 3 to 6, then 4 to 7.
Oh, so y'all were 3 to 6 for a little bit. There you go.
Yep.
Y'all had Ryan Fowler hours almost.
A little bit, but we're going to give him that 4-hour deal. I've never done 4 hours.
I've done his show and guest hosted.
Oh yeah. I actually, you know what? I've filled in for his show as well. I guess I have done 4.
If you can get them inflamed and get the phone calls rolling in,
it just rolls on by.
Yeah, I'm going to say, and you splice in 2 or 3 guests, now it can roll. I mean, it'll be 2, and then before you know it, it's 5:30. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we went through the budget there for the old Crimson Tide that was put out by Ryan Fowler.
Yeah.
And seeing what kind of money is losing the most.
It's still the same old, man. The money makers are football and men's basketball. That's just the way it is.
That's it.
I mean,
there was... Yeah. I think -3, a little over $3 million for track and field.
Yeah,
for both. But it goes right into. I will say one area that Commissioner Sankey has spoke quite a bit about is being the
hypocritical.
well, being the training ground for all of these Olympic sports that is getting funded through these universities. And the Olympic sports would be the first on the chopping block if we continue down these
this
tracks.
road. If we don't get guardrails up, a lot of those are going to disappear because they just don't make money.
Yeah. I mean, it is just that simple.
And nobody wants that to happen, okay? Because it takes opportunities away from student athletes, where Charlie Baker is actually not a hypocrite, talking out of both sides of his mouth. Because and of course he's calling for Congress's help. But the problem is they could have been handling this, like Mac Brown said, years ago, but they weren't, because they were too busy. 200 million. 300 million, counting their NCAA tournament money. And that's why Charlie and the boys want to stupidly expand it to 72 or 76 so they can count more money.
So apparently I'm wrong. This is how much of the Olympics I'm watching.
Right.
Breezy Johnson, female, accepted boyfriend Connor Watkins' proposal.
I completely apologize to everything I just said.
That is completely on me.
Yeah,
more than any.
Neither one of us have watched it. So Breezy, I apologize and congratulations on your engagement.
You know what? And just to show my full contrition, here is
Breezy Noble Johnson. You have worked so hard and achieved so much, and yet you still find the time to love me, to make me feel special. And most importantly, you help me love myself. And now that feels like there's only one way I want to spend the rest of my life, and that is by your side. I love you, Breezy. Will you marry me? Yes.
There you go. There's the moment.
Steve, you know what that sounds like? That sounds like a Talent Heating and Air commercial.
Doesn't it? Doesn't it?
Where's
really,
Scott? Where's the MC in this? Where they got to get the flame sensor fixed.
Give it another break, and we'll figure that out. But
at least the background music. We needed the background music. Come on.
Wait a second.
From Boogie Nights? That's what it sounded like.
No. That it is from a movie.
Yeah.
I will tell you, it is from a movie, but it is not from Boogie Nights.
Okay.
If you'd like me to tell you, I'll
go ahead.
Be happy to share.
It is from
the files.
Okay, go ahead.
It is from the files of Police Squad.
Oh,
the very first Naked Gun movie. This is when Priscilla Presley is walking down the stairs when she meets Lieutenant Frank Drebin.
Oh, well, there you go. And she definitely was a looker back in the day.
I am in Memphis.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I'm sure Frank was at full attention.
I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and take our final time out here in this first hour. Brandon, stick with us. I promise we'll get right with you on the other side. It's a Friday morning edition.
Proud of me on that. He's probably laughing his ass off.
He's getting ready to watch some wrestling. Or I guess it is wrestling there at the VBC, the state tournament going on as we speak. All right, Brody, let's head off to a break. We'll be right back and close down hour number one.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
AL cert number 21014.
This is Thomas with Talent Heating and Air Conditioning.
Thomas, I need you guys to light my flame sensor.
Excuse me?
Yeah, my gas valve's not flowing, buddy.
What do y'all need over there?
Oh, I need you to exchange my heat exchanger.
You don't have to speak the love language of a furnace to call Talent Heating and Air Conditioning. We can come out and do a $49 tune-up, and you'll get savings off of that, and we'll be able to figure out what's going on with your system.
Can you keep my flame lit this Valentine's Wednesday?
We can definitely keep your flame lit.
Who do I got to call?
Call Talent at 256-503-4490.
Come on, baby, light my fire.
That was weird.
It's Talent Heating and Air. They're live, they're local. Give them a call today.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com. Basketball fans, get ready as the Conference USA Basketball Tournament is set to return to the Rocket City and Probst Arena March 10th through 14th, featuring 20 men's and women's basketball teams playing 18 games with Conference USA titles and NCAA automatic bids on the line. It's 5 days of exciting hoops action at BBC Probst Arena. Jump into the action by getting your tickets now by visiting Ticketmaster.com. And we'll see you inside the BBC March 10th through the 14th. Come find out who will be putting on their dancing shoes.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at All About Water. Crazy name, huh? Well, let me introduce you to them. All About Water is the top pond builder anywhere in the Tennessee Valley, and that includes remodeling or cleaning out existing ponds as well. They also have monthly maintenance plans for your pond. Don't have a pond? Well, how about a fountain or water feature for your property to bring that soothing sound of running water to your happy place? On the other hand, maybe you have water on your property that you don't want. Well, Ryan at All About Water is all about water, so he could take care of that as well. He has a background in fluid dynamics, and what that means is that he can take care of any water issue that you have. Finally, how about that irrigation system that you have or that you want? Well, they do installs and maintenance and repairs on those as well, because they are all about water. Learn more at allaboutwaterllc.com. That's allaboutwaterllc.com.
This segment of Talkin Ball is brought to you by University Kia, the #1 volume Kia dealer in the state of Alabama. Located online at universitykia.com.
Back here with you on Talkin Ball. No Scott Tyson. In fact, Scott will be on assignment Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. I don't know if he minds me saying what he's going to do, but he is going to go watch his son on the track. And it just, I think that's cool that he's able to head out there to a long way away out there in Washington.
He'll be in the backyard of Gonzaga. He'll be in Spokane. So he'll be, I should tell him to get me a quarter zip for the Zags, but don't know if I'll
go for it. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Find me one of them Nike quarter zips.
Yeah.
Zags
out there in the land of Nike.
Yeah.
Brandon is on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. How are you, Brandon?
Have y'all seen any of this Playboy guy in the Olympics?
No.
That ran a 6-minute mile uphill on skis.
No.
I've seen memes of it, of people saying they're having trouble getting out of bed. This guy going 10 miles an hour up a mountain.
He's on some skis that are as long as a 2x4, running uphill, and runs a 6-minute mile.
Mm.
We need that dude at Alabama football practice.
Or Georgia. I'd be good. Yeah.
I don't know what kind of get up and go you got to have to want to do something that bad, but I can only imagine how much pain your lower body has been through to get to that point.
I mean, there are certain sports when I see them actually in action where I'm mentally going, I can't get there. There's no way I'm going to even try that. There's just no way.
If you could do that, you were born different.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I can do some really funny stuff going downhill. I can run
maybe once
mile an hour.
For me, maybe once.
I can crash some skis. I can have a real good time and get up and do it again. I don't think I could go 1 mile in 6 days uphill on skis.
Yeah, somebody did a routine. I'm trying to remember. There was a comedian that did a routine, and it always stuck in my head. I've been skiing 3 times where there's 2 kinds of skiing, where you look cool and death. I mean, there's just kind of no in between. That's always just stuck in the back of my mind of just, one false move and then bam. More than anything. That's why my skiing days are few and far between.
Lord, I couldn't even imagine. I've never skied in my life. I've only tried to ice skate a couple times. No, I've tried to ice skate a couple of times and it was brutal. So I've never skied, never in my life. I know Brandon enjoys it.
I love it. I've actually got pretty good at downhill skiing. I can go pretty quick. I can do a couple of little jumps here and there. Nothing major. I don't do none of that crap where they jump and they don't touch the snow for like 30 seconds on the way down.
So is it like Better Off Dead? I know that's an obscure movie reference.
No, it's more like Out Cold.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I guess that'd be better. That'd be a little more relative to me. But I got pretty good at that. But I've seen these cross-country people going uphill when I'm on the lift, and I look down and I think, what is wrong with you? I really do. I just like, this electric machine will carry you to the top of the hill. So,
yeah.
And they don't have to pay you. You come in and go uphill, and they'll let you do it for free. It's so dumb they won't even charge you. That's what blows my mind. And I wanted to ask you guys, I don't know if you saw this yesterday. What do you think about this idea where they're saying, let's divide the All-Star game based on race?
Excuse me? I didn't see this. I was
there
traveling.
Was yesterday where they said they need to change the All-Star game to everybody else versus Caucasians, and there was a lot lot on it.
Wow.
Yeah, Nick Wright proposed that yesterday.
Nick Wright?
Yeah, Nick Wright.
Yes.
Who is that?
He's on ESPN.
Okay.
I think he's Fox Sports, actually.
Could you imagine what would happen if one of y'all said that on this radio?
Oh, my goodness.
And ESPN wonders why people can't stand them right now. I mean, they hire one idiot after another that says things like that. My goodness. Wow.
Hey, when does
I missed that take. Huntsville plays tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we're about to dive into that conversation with the head boys basketball coach, Christian Schweers. They play tomorrow at 6:00 Central.
That was right. Like yesterday, 52-36 win for Huntsville over Grissom in game 1. And then, as expected, a barn burner in game 2. But the Sparkman Senators advanced 55-52. After building a 19-5 first quarter lead. But, Albertville had a really good year, 25-6 under Chris Graves. Congratulations to them.
1 down, 2 to go. We'll be back.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
Daytona 500 coming up on Sunday. Danny Hamlin, the 9-1 favorite. Kyle Busch on the pole with a lap of 183.925 miles an hour. He's 10-1. Chase Briscoe on the outside of row 1 is 20-1. The dual winners, Joey Logano's 10-1 and Chase Elliott 16-1. They'll start 3rd and 4th on the grid Sunday for the Great American Race. Tomorrow, it's the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series. Austin Hill, the plus 450 favorite to win the United Rentals 300. While in the Craftsman Truck Series tonight, it's a fresh from 4 to 250. Lane Riggs and Carson Otravar, the 10-1 co-favorites. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
365, 24/7. You'll find road and utility crews, tow truck, law enforcement, and first responders working along Alabama's roadway.
We're making improvements and helping our communities stay connected.
We're working hard to make sure you're safe on the road. Now we need your help to make sure we're safe too.
Alabama's move over law requires you to move over a lane when you see flashing lights on the roadside. And if you can't safely move over, please slow down.
Visit DriveSafeAlabama.org, brought to you by the Alabama Department of Transportation, Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
My caretaker was very rough with me. I thought they did it because I wasn't moving fast enough.
Elder abuse is a crime, and together we can stop it. If you or someone you know has been abused, neglected, or exploited, call the Adult Abuse Hotline at 1-800-458-7214. That's 1-800-458-7214. Sponsored by the Alabama Department of Human Resources, the Department of Justice, ADECA grant number 18 VA VS 050, the ABA, and this station.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
This hour brought to you by SportsMed Orthopedic and Spine Center. Online at sportsmedalabama.com. Welcome to Talkin Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
Hour number 2 brought to you by SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center. They invite you to give them the call today at 256-881-5151 to experience the SportsMed difference. SportsMed Orthopedic Surgery and Spine Center, dedicated to providing care that improves lives. Drew DeArmond, Steve Moulton here with you on a Friday morning, 1 hour in the books. And guys, if I need to remind you that Valentine's Day is tomorrow, then just letting you know tomorrow's Valentine's Day. But you can also spend some of your Valentine's Day watching some hoops tomorrow as well. Drew DeArmond.
Yeah, it's going to be a great night over at Huntsville High. It's been a very good year for 7A Area 7. You've had 3 teams ranked, in the top 10 in the state pretty much the entire season. It was some great action last night, and I'm going to give Jack Doss, who recently won his 900th career game, which is just an unbelievable accomplishment of longevity and greatness. And his team acquitted themselves well, I thought, last night. Got the game at the pace they wanted. They were able to shorten it and shrink it a little bit. And they were in the game solidly into the fourth quarter. That was
a 10-point game after the third quarter, I think.
Yeah, it was 40-30, and it was 28-22 at halftime. So Grissom was in this basketball game, had their opportunities, certainly, but Huntsville's group, which has been resilient all year and, played, I think, older than they are. And what I mean by that, and that speaks to the culture of our next guest and what he's built. But this is a team that came into the year. We all know Huntsville lost 7 seniors last year, the winningest senior class in the history of the program. 5 young men playing, 4 Division I basketball, 1 Division II in the Gulf South Conference with Eli Stapler. So they lost 5 starters, so this is a completely new team. But they're now 27-4 on the year. Been ranked really in the top 3 in the state all season long. And now will play for another 7A Area 7 championship against Obadiah Threadgill Sparkman Senators as they win 55-52 over, in a great game, great comeback by Albertville to make that a game to the wire against Sparkman. But Huntsville High wins 52-36. And we're going to talk some Crimson Panther basketball with the 8th-year head basketball coach of the Crimson Panthers, and that's Christian Schweers. And now it's 8 straight regional berths for the Crimson Panther program. Coach, that's quite an accomplishment. I know you're very proud so far of this young group of yours, but congratulations on a great win last night, and how are you this morning?
Thank you, Drew. Good morning, Drew and Steve. Steve, I wasn't expecting you on this morning, I'll be honest. I was pleased to hear your voice.
Yeah, throwing you a curveball, Coach.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, thank you. I agree with everything you said, Drew. I thought, Grissom did have a good game plan. I thought they played well. And, all the playoff games typically slow down as you get into the season, late in the season, and you got to be able to win in the half court. And I thought we did a good job last night of winning the game at that tempo. And, without a shot clock, it can make the game very interesting in a playoff deal, particularly with a team that's committed to slowing it down. And I thought our guys did a good job of not freezing up. I thought our defense went to another level and, essentially held them to 8 points in the second half before they banged out 2 late threes. And then we just did enough offensively to score and stretch it out. Graham Gossett played fantastic in the second half. I thought Evan was great in the first half. And, just fortunate we get to move on and keep practicing. I told them that last night. That was the biggest thing, is that we get to come to practice today and get to keep going. So really happy for this group.
And Coach, you never want to take it for granted either. I mean, certainly there's always anxiety, especially when there's a completely new group. And of course, this team has been shown the way by their brothers that previously took the floor. And some of these guys were on that team a year ago and played smaller roles, but you still have to go out as a new group and execute yourself. And it's tough to beat a team 3 times. I mean, that was the 3rd time facing the Grissom Tigers, and it'll be the 4th time facing the Sparkman Senators. But certainly postseason play is different, as you said, and you also have to adjust to officiating, because you have to kind of get a feel for how the game's going to be called early and then adjust therein, in my opinion.
Yeah, I second everything you said again. This group it's not anything surprising because I've seen it over and over throughout the season, is that they just don't get fazed by much. And so they are resilient and they kind of rise to the occasion. And, we'll have to do that again against Sparkman. They had a really good win last night against a top 5 team in Albertville. It's just a shame our playoff system, is set up that way, and hopefully we can get that corrected through the basketball committee and the Central Board of Control for this next cycle. But just looking out there, watching those 2 teams play and seeing that they're both, Elite 8 caliber teams playing in the first round. And so credit Sparkman for winning and getting out of there. I think that we'll have to play we've had some wars with them already.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a 2-point game in the Classic.
Yes.
And then it was a great game at home. We won by 5. Went over there and played really well from the get-go. But we'll have to play an extremely tough game. They've played very physical last night. Their guard play is really good. They got a lot of guys that can dribble, pass, and shoot. And I thought they executed at a high level last night in the half court. So we'll have to definitely bring it in all 4 phases. And I think this will be our 8th straight area championship, and I think we played Sparkman. Drew, you might have to correct me on that, fact check me on this, but I want to say this might be like the 5th or 6th time we're playing Sparkman. Could be more.
I want to say I think it's 6. I think we have. I know we played Grissom 3 years ago, and then Huntsville did, and it was I think we Huntsville and I can say I worked for the program, but that was a situation where and this is the 4th meeting with Sparkman. Huntsville, when they made the Final Four, had to beat Grissom 4 times because of the playoff system you're talking about.
That's right. We so very familiar with Sparkman. Got a lot of respect for those guys. But just a great night last night for high school basketball. Gym was packed. What was cool and interesting, and Steve, you'll appreciate this, is that, there's all these 7A games going on last night. And so, we're getting ready for the second game, and I see players from Bob Jones. I see players from, there was like 5 different schools there. Like Jemison had players there. Lee had players there. Hazel Green had players there. And so it's just kind of the place to be. And to watch really good high school basketball, and that's what it's about. And I'm really glad to be a part of the environment that we have here in North Alabama. I mean, there were some guys that drove 3 hours from southern part of the state to come watch the area tournament last night. So we invite all those same people back Saturday night. It'll be 6 o'clock. Area championship against Sparkman. Be a great game. And I know it's Valentine's. Hopefully, all the men out there getting their work done early and taking care of their special ladies in their lives or wives, and bring them to the game at 6 and go get some dinner after.
Well, and I gotta say this too, because now it's established. People were there. People know. People have seen, the video and things of that nature. But I was very proud of the team too, because sometimes when something's out of your control and you don't have your lineup, for example, I think David Harrison is as good a defender as there is in North Alabama because of his mobility, his height, his athleticism. He's guarded some of the best players in this area. He wasn't available last night. Graham Gossett had settled in to being, Vinnie Johnson. And I know some of these listeners, they're wondering who is Vinnie Johnson. Just Google him.
Microwave,
okay?
Look it up.
The microwave, yeah. He had settled in after getting healthy into a sixth-man role. He's thrust into the starting lineup. And then I'm going to use the mantra, your dudes have to be dudes. Well, Evan Toms and Graham Gossett were dudes last night, Coach.
Yeah, I agree. Really proud of Graham. As a 10th grader, before he got hurt his knee at the end of September, and it knocked him out really for about 2 whole months.
Yeah.
And before that, he was probably our best guard at the time. Just the way he was playing really improved a lot. And to not really have him for much of the year, he really didn't get going again. And back to kind of normalcy till around the Classic. He played really well in the Classic, as you both saw, and has been really good during the area. But settled in, as you said, to a six-man role. Not a lot of kids would want to do that when you're one of the better players, and things just kind of happen, and the team has to kind of move on, and roles got to be defined. And David Harrison was ready to kind of step up, and so we went with kind of a twin tower approach, and that's been the same lineup and rotation really since for about 2 months now, since middle of December. And so, proud of Graham for being able to step in last night. David was not able to play. And so it hurt our depth. It hurt our depth in the press and, took away a lot of length that we utilized. But Graham came in and played a really good game. They did a great job on Hudson, and David's brother was there to kind of pick up the score and slack. And so, it was great to see those guys be dudes. I thought Tyson Bobbitt, our point guard, played a really good game. Another just a sophomore. But I thought he was really good last night as well.
Coach, there's just seeing this team in particular, you've had a couple of you've had quite a few elite shooters, but in my mind, I'm sitting there thinking with Hudson Gossett and what he has been able to do this year, this may be an unfair question, but that's what I'm supposed to do, Coach. But give me, who would you set up for a one-shot deal, Simon Walker or Hudson Gossett for a one-shot coming off of a screen, Coach?
Well, I'll do you one better, Steve. I would use them both as decoys and throw it to Graham. I'd run them both at Graham and let Graham come off of it. I'm just kidding. I mean, we've been blessed with really skilled players over the last several years, and they both shoot it really well. And when you can stretch the floor like that and put pressure on the defense from the perimeter, and you've got a guy inside like Evan that can really get to the foul line and shoot about 80% of his free throws. I think last night he was 8 for 9. People don't understand what a valuable asset that is. What if he wasn't a good free throw shooter like a lot of high school bigs are, and he went 3 for 9 last night? Like, that game's not what it is. And it's something that's not getting talked about, because it's just a part of the game that everybody expects you to do. But 8 of 9 from the foul line for the big guy. And meanwhile, you got guys on the perimeter. We got 3 guys on our team that are shooting over 40% from 3. And we're committed to shooting threes. Like, you like watching high-paced offense that, bomb a lot of threes and score in transition. And that's us. And so you would want to come see us play. But that's kind of what we have to do. And that's kind of been our MO for a long time. We really kind of went to another level with it this year just because we kind of had to. But yeah, I mean, Hudson's a special shooter. I don't know the stats on this. I would have to get somebody more familiar with the program, I guess probably 30 years ago to give me some numbers. But, since I've been coaching here, and I know the teams prior to when I got here, no one has made over 100 threes in a regular season or in a single season. And Hudson's at 108 right now. So pretty phenomenal stat. He puts a lot of work into it.
He certainly does, but it speaks highly of him that I think he only got one shot off last night, Coach, that I remember in the first quarter, and he missed that three. And then really Grissom did a good job of getting in his grill and trying to no catch him, but he didn't force anything, though. I give him credit, and he allowed his teammates to get cooking, and his brother certainly did. And the team as a whole, in these playoff games where it's win or go home, it's very interesting. It's the little things that matter. I thought Huntsville took good care of the basketball last night for the majority of the game. And you just kind of mentioned the free throw line. I believe Huntsville was 17 of 18 last night. And in a game where the possessions are shrunk and you also still force Grissom into 10 to 11 turnovers, those two things are huge, those two factors.
Yeah, I thought those are probably the two deciding factors. I think we forced Grissom into 14 turnovers, and we went 17 of 18 from the line. The rebounds were about the same. We didn't get off as many threes as normal, but we did. We won the 2-point field goal deal there, so the numbers kind of added up in our favor in a low possession game. And you're going to have that. That's going to happen in the playoffs. Particularly without a shot clock, it just kind of lends itself to that. And I think that I don't think you're going to see that Saturday night. I think both teams can play in the half court for sure, Huntsville and Sparkman, but I think both teams are pretty committed to running up and down and using transition as a part of their deal. And so, I think if I was a fan, I'd want to come see that game Saturday night. A lot of good guards on the floor. Sparkman's going to be really good for the next couple of years. The majority of their best players are all underclassmen, so kind of similar to us. So two really good teams kind of playing, I guess, older than they are. But just a great job that Coach Threadgill's doing at Sparkman. I think they went 9-20 or 10-20 last year and, missed the area tournament missed the regional.
Mm-hmm.
And, he comes back this year, puts his thumb on his has his plan, puts his thumb on them, and now they're 21-10 and playing in the area championship, and we'll go back to Jacksonville and be very competitive.
No question. And I wanted to say this too before you go. Last thought, but I it's ironic. Only one of them scored last night, but their buy-in and accepting roles, and I'm very proud of all three of them. We had Cam Carney on the show. I apologize to him and his family for cursing him because he did not score that night and Huntsville did not win. He still did a great job with the interview and his overall body of work. He made, and even last night not scoring, he had 3 or 4 big-time offensive rebounds, hustle plays. And then Travell Lewis with his defense, he had a bucket last night. And even Liam Chapman in Liam's final game at home, regular season home game against Prattville, 11 points. I'm proud of all three of those seniors, Coach, and their buy-in and their willingness to play the role that you have created for them.
Yeah, 100% agree. Those three, I love those guys, and they're kind of similar in their makeup, and just really thankful for their unselfishness throughout the season. And they just want to win. They want to keep it going. And, they do a lot of things that don't show up necessarily on the stat sheet. Liam is obviously a 3-point specialist, and we always want him to get opportunities. Travell is a really good defender, good athlete, really good passer off the bounce, and he's a good teammate. And Cam does a lot of things that wins games that people if you watch the game, you're like, man, I really like number 2. Like, I feel like he's one of their best players. But you go look at a stat sheet, and it doesn't say that. And so there's a lot of things that the stat sheet doesn't pick up. If we did a hard hat deal like a lot of other teams do because of Alabama, he'd probably be our hard hat winner every game. So, just a great group, and we wouldn't be where we are without those 3 and their buy-in.
Yeah, that's
well, playing to the standard comes to mind, Coach. And I know Drew started this conversation with last year's team that went 32-2 and replacing a lot, but playing to the standard, it just kind of stands out to me, and it's a credit to you and the culture that you have built there at Huntsville High. Now 8 consecutive. This you just can't fall out of bed and make this happen, Coach. This is awfully impressive. 8 years in a row.
Yeah, thank you so much for saying that, Steve. I'll just be honest with you. I feel like my job and my role in our program, it changes a little bit each year, but one thing always remains the same, and that's that, we can't get comfortable, and we can't let success be our, definition of what we're doing. And we got to get it backwards, and it's really hard to do, but just focus on things that we can control, and honestly, just being appreciative, being thankful for the opportunities we have. There's a time in my life years ago where I had a lot of adversity in my personal life, and I was away from the game for about 6 months, and it was one of the hardest things to not be able to wake up and have a team to go coach and have a purpose. I felt like my purpose was taken away, and I swore that if God ever gave me an opportunity again, I would never take advantage. I would always take advantage of it. I'd never take it for granted. And by His grace, man, I feel like He's blessed me with a great staff. We've had really good families over the years at Huntsville that have bought into what we're doing and allowing us to push them and to love on them and hold them accountable, but also praise them. And, we're just kind of getting to see the fruits of all that buy-in from all these different teams, from all these players. And so it's not just a me deal, it's an us deal. And I'm really fortunate to be in the driver's seat doing that. I guess you call it the culture bus. And really thankful for that, thankful that people recognize it.
Well, and finally, Coach, just let everybody know about the details Saturday. And, we're and, of course, I know that I'm sure that tickets will be available at the door, but also on GoFan as well.
That's right. 6 o'clock at Huntsville High. Doors will open at 5 o'clock. Tickets are on GoFan. We encourage all students to come out from all schools, particularly Huntsville and Sparkman, and make it a great environment on be the last game of the season at Huntsville High this year. It's been a special year, and we'd love to get people out there for it and support these student athletes. Guys, thank you all again for what all you do for high school basketball. It means a lot.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate the time. That's Christian Schweers, 8th-year head coach, Steve, and that was very well put by you. What a run for Coach Schweers so far when you think about it in context, especially the 12 years before he arrived. And then you think that now he's gone to 8 straight regionals, and could be if they win the game at Jacksonville, the Sweet 16 matchup, which will be either Hoover with another chapter or Vestavia, then you're talking about, I believe it would be 7 Elite Eights too, which is astounding.
Can I ask something from the AHSAA?
Sure.
Can we get a bracket? Can we get a bracket? Seriously, I mean, we follow it because we know what's going on, but there are other states that actually put out a bracket for people to follow. It was Hewitt taking on Hoover, and then Vestavia, Oak Mountain on the other side as well.
Yeah.
So
I believe it was 78-57 Hoover over that Jeremy Monso's Hewitt Trustville Huskies, and then it was Oak Mountain and Vestavia, and that was a closer game, but Vestavia marches on. And they beat Oak Mountain. So really all 4 of those.
That's the
teams,
1 and 2 seeds, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Hoover was the 1. Vestavia was the 2, and then there was a coin flip between Oak Mountain and Hewitt-Trussville, and Oak Mountain ended up with a 3, and Hewitt-Trussville got Hoover. And so it's being played at Hoover. So that will be so. And really, it was a log jam. They all beat each other this year. Hoover didn't dominate that area, so Hoover will play on Saturday against. And in
7A Area 7, it's 1 versus 2 as well with Huntsville and Sparkman.
That's right.
But speaking of playing to a standard, Kristy Curry. There was a lot to replace off of that team last year at Alabama, and I feel like this team has picked up the mantle quite well and just continued to play to the standard. And guys, I know I blew through the 15 break, but that was a really good conversation we had there with Christian Schweers. So let's go ahead and take that timeout right now. The women's basketball coach at Alabama, Kristy Curry, she joins us next right here on Talkin Ball.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
These days, saving time is important, and saving money is even more so. That's where Eagle Masonry and Insulation comes in. Over the years, Eagle has expanded their services to meet the needs of folks like you in our area. If you need masonry, brick, stone, or block work, Eagle should be your first call. They can even help if your property needs grading, erosion control, and Eagle can handle dirt haul-off. Call Eagle Masonry and Insulation today at 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time, and Eagle saves you money.
Tom Abraham here for my longtime friend Mike Owen of Owen Home Appliance. You know, Mike has over 25 years experience in the appliance industry, and since 2017, Owen Home Appliance has served customers in the Tennessee Valley with a focus on quality products, affordable prices, and excellent customer service. Owen Home Appliance prides themselves on community involvement as well, sponsoring local teams and events while making sure that you get the right appliance at the right price. Visit their highly interactive showroom in Lacey Springs, just 8 miles south of the river on 231.
SportsMed is the official team physicians of the Rocket City Trash Pandas. And if the pros trust SportsMed, you can too. SportsMed provides every service you might need for complete orthopedic care, specializing in orthopedic surgery, sports medicine, joint replacement, spine surgery, neurosurgery, and podiatry. And they offer their own brace shop, in-house full-body MRI, physical therapy, walk-in clinic, and so much more. 4 locations and on the web at sportsmedalabama.com.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at the service department at Woody Anderson Ford. When you need service on your vehicle, whether it's a Ford or any other make, you want to get into Woody Anderson Ford, where their expert service technicians will get it diagnosed and repaired right away, the right way. And while you are there, check out all the new and pre-owned vehicles at Woody Anderson as well. They are ready to make you the best deal possible. Visit Woody Anderson Ford today.
Woody Anderson Ford on Jordan Lane in Huntsville, Hughes Road in Madison, and online at woodyanddersonford.com.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
A wise man once said, if you take care of old folks and children, everything in the middle will take care of itself.
Hi, I'm Danny Aldridge, lawyer in Alabama and Tennessee. In the next 20 years, the number of those folks over 65 years of age will more than double. In our golden years, the most important goal is to be treated with dignity and have control over doing what makes you grateful with those you love. At the Aldridge Law Firm in the Legal Town Center, we're dedicated to help you with these goals, and we'll be there when life throws you those inevitable curveballs. Let us assist you with your legal needs, whatever they may be or become. You may reach us by phone at 256-534-3188 or online with Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Just remember, we're here to help. Whether it's personal injury, wrongful death, fraud and cheat, or estate planning made complete, we're here to help.
Talkin Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Weekday mornings beginning at 7 a.m. only on 97.7 ESPN and the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app.
Back here on Talkin Ball, hitting halftime, if you will, halfway through the 3-hour tour here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, and always enjoy talking some college basketball. And we mentioned about playing to a standard, and right out of the gate. Boy, Alabama, right out of the gate, Drew, this women's team just on a fantastic win streak that was halted by South Carolina. But I tell you, this team with a lot of new parts and, again, playing to that standard and another 20-win plateau, again, and that's hard to achieve. And that's a special number in college basketball, Drew, 20.
Yeah, and as early as they've ever done it under Coach Kristy Curry. And she's joined us throughout this journey in this season. And it's been a special one thus far because they lost three young ladies to the WNBA led by Sarah Ashley Barker, who really became a Crimson Tide legend. And yet it still had, some bumps in the road. They've had a week off after a tough road loss in the SEC against Texas A&M and former Bama player Joni Crenshaw. And that's the way it is, though. No matter what in this league, it is very, very difficult to play on the road. But this Alabama women's team has responded to adversity already. They lost to Auburn back in mid-January, and yet went on to win big games against Ole Miss at home. They won at Georgia, who's been ranked and it was very impressive by 15. But the schedule ramps up from here on out. It's the final stretch of it, which is hard to believe, but there's still so much to play for this Alabama women's team, because one of the next steps they want to do and have is, if you're a top 4 seed in the women's tournament, you very likely get to play on your home floor. And Rick Moody did that several times at Alabama. I remember as a student going to one of those games where they beat UCLA on a bank shot at the buzzer to win. And it was a heck of a crowd. I think there was 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 people in Coleman Coliseum. And I know that's something that these young ladies are very hungry to experience. And speaking of Coleman Coliseum, it's going to be the place to be on Sunday, because a very good Oklahoma Lady Sooners team is coming to Tuscaloosa. And we're going to talk about the Lady Crimson Tide now with Kristy Curry, who's taking some time out of a very busy schedule to join us and talk some Lady Tide basketball. And we're going to have that game on ESPN 97.7 The Zone on Sunday with the call by Roger Hoover, and we're really looking forward to it. Coach, good morning.
Hey, good morning. How are y'all?
We're good, and you're with Drew DeArmond and Steve Moulton, Coach. And how has your team responded? Because I know ideally they were playing really well, and then it was kind of a gut-wrenching loss to A&M, a game that could have easily gone your team's way. But you're 20-5 overall. You've had a week to kind of digest it, watch the film, and get ready for a huge home opportunity to bounce back against Oklahoma.
It's been a great week. I mean, it's just called the SEC, guys.
Right.
And it's a difficult league, the best league in the country, and we had a great win on Thursday against number 13 Ole Miss, and faltered on the road. So you just keep working. You either handle adversity and go to work on it, or it's going to work on you. So there are ups and downs. And the thing I love about this team is we're going to stay positive. We're going to keep coaching. We're going to find improvement areas. We're going to work ourselves to improve. So it's, collective team effort when you win. It's a collective team effort when you stumble, and you just got to work on the adversity to work out of it. Doesn't get any easier, though. Top 10 Oklahoma coming to town. It's our pink game. I also want to mention we've got some great events. Softball is at home this weekend. We've got pink match tonight with our amazing gymnastics program. So many opportunities in Tuscaloosa to come catch a lot of our women's sports, and we hope everybody will come on down and support.
Yeah, and Coach, I know you were watching it last night, but Oklahoma did play. They played a Florida team that's got a rising young squad who's really started to improve quite a bit this year. And Oklahoma wins that game at home, but it was a tough one. It was 81-74. It was not easy against that young Gator team. And I was watching that Gator team earlier this year, and it shows you how good Vanderbilt is. But they built a 25-10 lead on Vanderbilt, and yet Vanderbilt completely flipped it and won by about 16. But Blake's is a great player, but this is an interesting matchup between the Oklahoma and Alabama, and I know it's very key to protect home court in this league. And it would be, and I know we kind of I talked about it in the opening part of the segment, but there's still so much this Lady Tide team is playing for. You guys, of course, feel like you're going to get back to the NCAA tournament, but you want to be a top 4 seed, and the opponents you have left on the schedule allow you the opportunity to earn that.
Absolutely. Our net, our strength of schedule, we've put ourselves in a position, and now you're competing for seeding, like I said, in the NCAA tournament, the SEC tournament. So, the good thing about life every single day is you can look through the glass, the front glass, and not look through the rearview mirror, right? That's kind of a life lesson. So we have opportunity that we're going to work to embrace. Obviously, I had a chance to watch the same game you mentioned, and because we played Florida a week from Sunday.
That's right.
Oklahoma. So it's really a 2-for-1. You love that as a coach when you can get a 2-for-1, and it was a great game. I mean, Florida's young, but they seem to always be young. It's interesting, and it's just a good opportunity for us against Oklahoma, the fastest paced team in the country. Oof. They're really going to get up and down the floor, and I thought Florida did a nice job with their transition defense last night. So it'll be good. We like to play fast. They like to play fast, and hopefully we can do a really good job from the defensive end, from the inside out.
Coach, I'm really intrigued with replacing leaders and of just from a standpoint of, of the kind of run that you guys went on last year in particular and replacing those leaders. How has that process been? And who would you say is the leadership core of this team at this point in a very vital time of the year, Coach?
Yeah, it's Carly Weathers. I mean,
Yes.
she is an incredible human being. She's graduating in May with her nursing degree. I'm not sure there's another student athlete across the country that will play 4 years of college basketball, multiple NCAA tournaments, and graduate in nursing. She's in clinicals right now. It's incredible. She's a tremendous, tremendous leader, great witness example with her faith. On and off the floor, action leader, plays as hard as anybody on the floor. And, she's just one of those unique leaders that comes across similar to, we had a core group last year, but Carly has really had to take on a lot of that. And it's really been unique to watch. I think Jess Timmons has assisted her, but she's pretty special. She's from up there close to you guys up there in Loretta, Tennessee. And she is a really special human. And we're just very thankful that she chose Alabama 4 years ago because she has completely helped to change this program and the trajectory.
Well, and she comes from such an athletic family. Her dad, David Weathers, major league pitcher. But, Coach, I got to say, I think she's as good a defender as you've ever had. I mean, I know when the Tide beat Kentucky, I want to say she had 7 steals. She's just an amazing young lady that plays so well on both ends of the floor, and she's usually so efficient with her opportunities offensively as well.
She really is, and it's not always the quickest and the fastest, but it's definitely mind over matter. She understands personnel. She understands tendencies. She's loud early and often with her communication, and she truly gets everybody to their spots and is a coach on the floor. And, I think it's really, really a special, special story. And we just want to finish this the right way for her and make sure we send our senior class out in a really special way.
Mm-hmm.
On the opposite side of the coin, how about the first year for Ace Austin, coming from a very small high school here in the state of Alabama? Got to see her in a couple of games on the high school level. But how would you assess how Ace has played for you out of the gate, Coach?
She's done amazing. She has such a bright future. When you look across this league, she's one of those freshmen that has had an impact in a big way, on their team. And she continues to come in and really be a spark for us. She's growing every single day, and just love. I think she too is that future leader. She has a chance to learn from one of the best that's ever played here, leadership wise, and it's certainly something I've seen her leadership and her vocal presence grow. So we're excited for Ace and the future of the program. Especially with her in your backcourt. So it's a lot to look forward to. She's had some great games and great minutes for us this year.
She really has, Coach, and she's been she's going to be fun to watch going into the future. But I wanted to ask you, about another young lady that you, when we spoke to you the first time, you told us that she was such a great piece, even though she wasn't healthy until the latter part of last year. But you had your group got better because they had to practice against her. She's had to fill some huge shoes from a scorer like Sarah Ashley Barker, but I think she's really done a remarkable job and been a first-team All-SEC type player. But talk about the bounce-back year and getting completely healthy and what Jessica Timmons has done this year.
Well, she just, she's got some toughness about her. She plays with an edge, in a league that's extremely physical and finds ways to really help her team. She draws a lot of attention early, but she just kind of stays the course, and has done a really good job of having some big second halves for us. We've got to do a really good job and we've tried and we'll continue to get her more involved early, in the game. But I just love her presence and who she's trying to be. She's extremely competitive, hard-nosed, and stubborn in a really good way. And, at times she has been all SEC, first team without question. And we hope she can have a special finish too. There were times last year, in January when she was back from her knee injury, she was the best player on the floor. So you knew she had a chance to have a special year, and I'm just really proud to see her come back. It's tough to come back from an injury and have a great year the year after, and she's certainly doing that.
Mm-hmm. Well, Coach, I know Oklahoma coming up on Sunday, and I know that is your focus, but down the stretch, goodness. I mean, this schedule,
the
Coach.
League, it's the league, man.
Well, that is true. And I know South Carolina's on the horizon too, so is Vanderbilt. But good. I just, if you could.
Texas.
It's just the gauntlet is here, Coach.
It is, but it has been for 16 games. And I think the thing is that you turn this into a positive and we just take them one game at a time. Our goal is to win each and every one of them. But I'll tell you what it's going to prepare you for. It's going to prepare you for the NCAA tournament. Because when you get to that first round, that second round, you're going to be prepared because you've been through it in this league. And, we're going to stay positive. I think the biggest thing is I think you can deflect and blame. I'll be the first one to say that I'm going to work as hard as I possibly can to help this team. And I know they're going to meet me halfway. And we're just going to stay positive. We need this fan base to come out and support this team. What they've been able to do with what we lost a year ago is extraordinary. And they believe in the front of their chest it's a really special group. So we hope our fan base will come out and support us Sunday. Again, it's our pink game. It's such a great opportunity to show support for, all of us know someone that's been affected by women's cancers, whether it's our family or a friend. And for us to be able to play for Kay and Coach Yao, our local cancer center, DCH, we had a chance to go out and spend some time with those patients last week, and it's a tremendous initiative. So come to the game, wear pink, and we just look forward to seeing everybody on Sunday.
Well, I can tell you, Coach, we have a very passionate listener, and he lives in Rome, Georgia, but he does a lot of traveling. He's in the state of Alabama a lot. He's very close to ASOS and her family and Spring Garden. And Brandon Pilcher loves this program. He brings a carload to your games. He was in Athens. He was sending me video from Athens as you guys where the young ladies were polishing off a really good Georgia team on the road. And he's super excited for this opportunity down the stretch. He loves this team, and we do too. We're very proud of what you've accomplished. And this is a great opportunity for these young ladies, especially 3:00 on Sunday. I mean, Oklahoma coming in, and hopefully there's going to be a very energetic, big crowd. I know the crowds have been really good, and the student section has turned out, and this would be a huge win. And I just want to ask you, how big is to beat this Oklahoma team? How big do Essence Cody and Naomi Jones have to be to win it? I know you're going to need their physical presence inside.
No doubt. They have to play with tremendous pace. We've got to free throw line to free throw line, win the big race, and do a really nice job of doing our work early, meeting Reagan Beers. I tell you, Brooklyn Stewart, the freshman off the bench, is really good too. And the physicality, it's going to be physical. And we're going to have to match that, handle that, and outwork, and it starts from the inside out. I'm excited for Naomi and Essence because I believe in them, and I know they're going to do a great job and be prepared and ready to go.
Well, and I've got to give a shout out to Naomi too. She's from Jackson, Alabama. She's overcome a lot of, knee issues to play for you as a redshirt sophomore, and she's become a big time presence on the glass. And I'm just proud of the work she's put in. We always like to see these young ladies from the state play well, but I know she's put in a lot of work, and she's become a big part of this team. And she's had a really solid year for you, Coach. I'm glad Essence is back healthy, and if they can play well, hopefully we'll be able to see a big Crimson Tide win. You can also hear it here on 97.7 The Zone. But, Coach, good luck to you and the young ladies against Oklahoma on Sunday. We always appreciate the time, and you're very generous with it. And we look forward to a great stretch run here before the SEC tournament for the Lady Tide.
Well, listen, we appreciate you guys having us on. Appreciate the support from that part of the state, and hope everybody has a great Roll Tide Friday. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
That is Coach Kristy Curry, joining us here on a Friday morning. But I mentioned the schedule there, Drew. Sunday is Oklahoma, then home against South Carolina next Thursday.
They're decent.
At Florida, at Vanderbilt, and then close things out against Texas, as you mentioned, when we flip the calendar to March on that first Sunday of the madness that is the month of March.
Yeah, it really is, man. It's something, and you look at it and the results from last night in the league, and the SEC in women's basketball has always been strong, but it's kind of had a renaissance this year, Steve, a little bit. And I think just like the men's basketball had probably the best year of anybody ever, a season ago. And the women's programs in the SEC, honestly, I'm not so sure that they're kind of reflecting what the men did a year ago. I think it's the best league in the country. There's no doubt about it. And then when you look at those, results last night, I know Vic Schaefer probably didn't have a very good plane flight home, but Vanderbilt nuked Texas 86-70. And if you haven't seen Michaela Blake's play, she is worth the price of admission. She is an outstanding player. She may be the best player in the SEC, and that's saying a lot considering that South Kakalaki has like 15 McDonald's All-Americans. But still, I mean, and that's a credit to Dawn Staley. What Dawn Staley has done with South Carolina's program is nothing short of astonishing. She's basically replaced Pat Summitt, as far as, because Tennessee's women's program ruled the roost for so long. Now it's South Carolina. And so they're kind of the standard bearer. But Vic Schaefer's done a great job at both Mississippi State and Texas. And Kristy Curry, I'm telling you, I don't know if any people really understand in her 13 years what she's done to make Alabama women's basketball relevant again. But it was a very long process, and what she has done, and especially coming off of what they did last year, and then the three great players they lose to be 20-5, even with the losses to A&M and Auburn, which were painful, but they bounced back after losing to Auburn. Hopefully they're going to bounce back after this A&M setback, but 20-5 at this point with a chance to be a top 4 seed. Very tough schedule, you mentioned already, but a lot of great work from Kristy Curry and that staff. But
honestly, a lot of those teams are the teams you want to leapfrog in front of you to get that opportunity to be a top 4.
No,
so
like
it's right there in front of them.
Right, it's right there in front of you, and it's your resume will be very, very strong with who you're playing.
Yeah. The league led by South Carolina at 10-1, followed by Vanderbilt. They are 10-2. Then Tennessee at 8-2, followed by Texas, tied with LSU at 8-3. Ole Miss is 7-3. Then Alabama 6-5, but still a lot to play for down the stretch. And Oklahoma is also 6-5 as well. So a vital game coming up on Sunday down in Tuscaloosa. Let's go ahead and take a timeout here. Hour 2 of Talkin Ball here this Friday morning. We'll be back right after this.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Travel accommodations for 97.7 ESPN The Zone provided by University Kia. Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 50s. A couple of folks could see the lower 60s. We drop into the upper 30s, lower 40s as we head into the overnight. Valentine's Day is going to come with plenty of cloud cover and scattered showers across the Tennessee Valley. Temperatures climbing into the lower 60s. Better chances for rain on Sunday.
Your Fox 54 weather. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Check out our latest zone deal.
Donato's Pizza is the latest zone deal. Good at both locations in Huntsville and in Madison for Donato's Pizza. Fresh ingredients, edge-to-edge toppings. It's all at Donato's Pizza. Our latest zone deal. Check it out today.
Just head over to our website, 977ESPN.com. Zone deals on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
What's better than 2 end-zone sports bars? 3 end-zone sports bars. And we have you covered with our original location on University across from Red Lobster, in Jones Valley on Cecil Ashburn near Carl T. Jones, and our newest location in the Midtown District on McMurtry Drive opposite the Target Plaza. All locations feature the NFL Sunday Ticket, Tuesday half-price burgers, and Wednesday $1 jumbo wings all day long. You're never far from the end zone. End Zone Sports Bar. Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com. When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
More savings, more selection, more for your trade. I'm Bobby White, and we've got more to love all month long at Lynn Layton Ford in Decatur. While they last, save up to $11,000 off MSRP on select 2025 F-150 crew cabs. $11,000 off F-150. Save more on remaining 25 Mustangs, up to $8,500 off MSRP on select models. Yep, $8,500 off on a Mustang. Save up to $10,000 off MSRP on remaining new 2025 Explorers, up to $10,000 off. New 25 Bronco Sport start under $27,000. That's right, just $26,800 after a $1,000 Ford owner loyalty rebate. New 25 Broncos start at just $36,500. That's $36,500 after the $1,000 Ford owner loyalty rebate. And there's never any hidden markups or dock fees. All these offers with your good credit, and we hope to see you soon at Lynn Layton Ford. Right in the heart of Ford country, just a mile south of the Beltline indicator, or online anytime at lynnlaytonford.com.
This will turn journalism on its ear.
Watch our stream on WZZN TV on Twitch and YouTube.
But you are the greatest hero in American history.
We are 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
It is a Friday morning on Talkin Ball. Scott Tyson is on assignment. He's over at the VBC this morning.
Not wrestling. This is
State wrestling. I'm in Memphis, Tennessee,
Yeah.
where they used to do, I'm sure they still do some wrestling, Mid-South wrestling. I can see Gordon Soley on television right now.
Gordon Soley, wow.
Yeah, interviewing let's go Larry the King Lawler. How about that?
Jerry the King Lawler.
Thank you. That Jerry the King Lawler.
I think Jerry actually ran wrestling in Memphis, did he not?
I believe he did. He was the unofficial mayor for the longest time here in the city of Memphis. Head over to our website, 977ESPN.com. I'm clicking on it right now. The big zone deals. Let's go through this. It's Valentine's Day weekend. If you're looking for some deals, how about, there's Donato's Pizza. It's
doesn't that debut today?
It does.
It does. I guess it has.
I'm looking at it right now, and it's tempting me. You know what? I think I'm going to buy one. In fact, I just added it to my cart. Let's go around here. How about some brunch over at Good Company Cafe?
You can eat yourself into a coma at Good Company Cafe.
And maybe some dinner. Gosh, dinner plans. Goodness. There's Sea Salt. There's Corlejos Mexican Grill. There's Bad Daddy's Burger Bar. Full Moon Barbecue is talking to me. So I'm going to add that. Dreamland Barbecue and the Furniture Factory Bar and Grill is all right there for the taking. And here's the thing. When you buy multiple zone deals, there's only one fee that is associated with it. So essentially, the more that you buy, the cheaper that fee is. So we appreciate you patronage our fine sponsors, and we appreciate our partners be it Corlejos Mexican Grill, Bubby's Diner, Sea Salt, Bad Daddy's Burger Bar, Full Moon Barbecue. Yeah, you can get the clubs out over at Cherokee Ridge Golf Course. Play two players in a cart for half price. Good Company Cafe, the End Zone. Went to the End Zone on Monday. They've got a new, it was a ribeye sandwich, I believe it was.
Yeah, you were bragging on it. I heard you earlier in the week.
Yeah. So, and then also Donato's Pizza is front and center. It's edge-to-edge toppings there at Donato's Pizza. And getting some other ideas from some other listeners that we may try to attack here for our zone deals. But go attack a zone deal today and see. It's always good to save some money. In fact, I buy multiple zone deals myself and usually surprise the guys in the evening. I've done it with you as well there, Drew, in the evening when you've helped us out there with the drive. But it's easy to do. And we appreciate the sponsorship from all of our partners that we have here at 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
And we can foreshadow. We got another major one next Friday, right?
Yes, we do. In fact, I've been conversing with 5 guys, and they will be launching next Friday. And it'll be 5 guys at 4 locations that you'll be able to buy. 5,
wow.
Yeah, 4 different locations for 5 guys,
including across the parking lot, right?
You could literally walk to it from where we're at there at the radio station. So,
and by the way, they also have very underrated hot dogs. Everybody,
I know everybody tried that.
I know everybody loves their burgers, and I do too. But they've got great cheese dogs, and every now and then I double the pork and have the bacon on it too, man. But I'm just saying, they split those hot dogs down the middle and they grill them. They also have milkshakes. I mean, and they've added a patty melt to the menu too, where they it's not just a bun.
It sounds like I need to take Drudy Arman over there and enjoy a zone deal beginning next Friday. It'll be 5 guys. Yeah, I'm working on those too. Goodness, people are texting me. But yeah, by all means, give me your ideas. I'm working on it. 2 hours in the books, but we are not done. We'll talk to Sparkman head boys basketball coach Obadiah Threadgill coming up in hour number 3. Your phone call is certainly welcome. Floyd or Lloyd, you're on deck next. We'll be right back.
These days, saving time is important, and saving money is even more so. That's where Eagle Masonry and Insulation comes in. Over the years, Eagle has expanded their services to meet the needs of folks like you in our area. Taking care of your property yourself can be a real headache. Eagle can handle it for you. They offer full landscaping services, irrigation, mowing, bush hog, and can install plants and trees, sod, and even landscape borders. Call Eagle Masonry and Insulation today at 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time, and Eagle saves you money.
Tom Luganville here for my friends at the service department at Woody Anderson Ford. When you need service on your vehicle, whether it's a Ford or any other make, you want to get into Woody Anderson Ford, where their expert service technicians will get it diagnosed and repaired right away, the right way. And while you are there, check out all the new and pre-owned vehicles at Woody Anderson as well. They are ready to make you the best deal possible. Visit Woody Anderson Ford today.
Woody Anderson Ford on Jordan Lane in Huntsville, Hughes Road in Madison, and online at woodyAndersonFord.com.
The End Zone Sports Bar has done it again. This time, they're bringing their jumbo wings, handcrafted burgers, Tex-Mex, and New York-style pizza to the Midtown District with their new location on McMurtry Drive Northwest opposite the Target Plaza. Tuesdays at the End Zone means half-price burgers, and Wednesday is $1 jumbo wings all day long. The End Zone also features Sunday ticket for all your NFL viewing. The newest End Zone Sports Bar in the Midtown District on McMurtry near the Target Plaza. Get in the End Zone.
Oftentimes, the wheelchairs our veterans and first responders receive from their healthcare providers are subpar at best. Some are falling apart, with a years-long waiting list for a new one. This lag causes a tremendous amount of stress for our heroes and creates a burden for their caregivers. Isolation leads to depression. We build what they need to get outdoors, hunting, fishing, or playing sports. Join the mission at wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
This hour of Talkin' Ball is brought to you by Hyundai Decatur, located on the Beltline.
In the market for a newer used car? Look no further than Hyundai of Decatur. With a large inventory of new, used, and certified pre-owned Hyundai models, Greenway Hyundai of Decatur is here to service all of your Hyundai needs. Come visit our exceptional service department as well. With state-of-the-art facilities and a caring team of automotive professionals waiting to service your vehicle, make Hyundai of Decatur your #1 choice for all your automotive needs. Give them a call today at 256-274-0279 or visit them online at greenwayhyundaiofdecatur.com.
Welcome to Talkin' Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Call into the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline now, 256-576-4977. That's 256-576-4977. Now, here's Scott and Drew.
Hour number 3. Launching out of the dock for our 3-hour tour. I don't know why, but when we went to this in the morning, all I had was Gilligan's Island stuck in my head for this show. Was the 3-hour tour a 3-hour tour? Drew DeArmond is back in the studios of 97.7 ESPN The Zone. I am in Memphis, Tennessee, as the UAH Chargers down Christian Brothers last night. 63, wait a second. Let me look at this closer. 79-63 was the final score as the Chargers improved to 17-7, 12-6 in the GSC and scored 46 points in the second half after being down by 3 at halftime to CBU. 36-33 was that halftime score, but it was nice to see that this team this year at UAH has been a mash unit, where it has just been one injury after another, and it was a little therapeutic, at least for the broadcaster, that would be me, to see the likes of Quentin Tolles on the floor, Griffin Cooper on the floor.
Wow.
Griffin Cooper played last night, and you would have loved it, Drew, because Griffin, he plays with an attitude. He played maybe 38 seconds in the first half. The very first second he was on the court, he ended up on the floor diving for a loose basketball. You could tell when guys have that chance to come back and kind of relive something that they've lost, you can tell it just meant a little bit more to Griffin to be back out on that court last night. And here's to hope that we can see more of Griffin Cooper coming up tomorrow in Jackson, Tennessee. You'll be able to hear both the women's and men's basketball games right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Women start at 2 o'clock. Men will follow. And then we'll have Alabama men's basketball, as don't look now, but this team is starting to – they look – I know Ole Miss is not in terms of a quality opponent, but they've gone through some stuff there at Ole Miss, and they've missed on a couple of transfer portal players, did Chris Beard, but he hits more than he misses. But I thought Alabama played awfully efficiently in the second half at Ole Miss, and this really does set up quite well for Alabama here down the stretch.
I can just tell you, Ole Miss is very well coached. Chris Beard is a great coach. They did a great job in the first half of clogging the lane, taking the drives away from Alabama. Phylon, Holloway, and those guys and Reitzel were doing too much dribbling into oblivion, and they weren't moving the ball. And then when they were able to get some looks, they were contested threes, which is what Chris Beard wanted, and Alabama wasn't making many of them. Yeah. And it was a 32-30 game at halftime. Alabama was very fortunate to have the lead. With how poorly they had played for much of the first half, but the second half it mirrored Auburn quite a bit. They did a much better job of moving the ball, spreading out Ole Miss, and then attacking the rim. And then that led to, better threes. And then Reitzel caught fire. Let's just be honest. I mean, he caught fire.
Yeah.
And then Philon is kind of the closer. He can, drink if Philon turns it over. You know what I'm saying? In the first half, and then drink if he doesn't handle the pick and roll on defense well. And what I love about Nate Oates is he doesn't tolerate it. He'll pull him out, and then what are you doing? And they'll let him cool his jets for a little bit. But usually, what happens is LeBaron figures it out, and he down the stretch, the final 15 or 16 minutes, which is really what killed Alabama in Nashville against Vanderbilt. He can take a game over. And just start creating for himself and for others. And he did that, and Reitzel really fed off of it. And I thought that his teammates did a good job of finding Latrell, realizing that he was hot, and then to go to him. And he even had a couple other threes that were halfway down. I mean, it was and then it's contagious. Then Philon gets going offensively. Aiden Holloway makes some tough shots, and even Taylor Bowen. And I thought Bowen had an underrated second half. I thought Alabama did a really good job of rebounding the basketball, which has not been the case a lot this year.
Mm-hmm.
And if they take care of the ball, which they did the second half, and they don't turn it over, if they're only turning the ball over 2 or 3 times in a half, they're going to score 50 or more, especially if they get it cooking, shooting the threes. And it was pretty amazing, Steve. I think the first 15 minutes or so, Alabama had or 17 or 12, 13 minutes, they had scored 15 points. And then all of a sudden they end up with 93 because they went 15 of 27 of their last 27 threes they attempted in the game.
Really intriguing day of SEC basketball tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
And it starts off with Texas A&M at Vanderbilt. And that's a really good matchup to me, of especially how Bucky Ball has kind of a little hiccup, is what I'll say, over the last couple of games. But the Missouri game, boy, Missouri just flat out outplayed Texas A&M in the second half. I watched a lot of that game. I was just really intrigued off of that game. I believe that was Wednesday night. So
I knew A&M was in a little bit of trouble because they played really well offensively the first half, and they made 11 threes, and I think 9 different guys made them. They were only up 5. So you kind of felt like, uh-oh. And then Missouri, I thought Missouri had really taken control of the game at 74-66, but that's Bucky Ball. They didn't give up. They continued to grind. And I really thought they were going to steal the game. I thought they were going to come back and nip it at the end.
Yeah.
But
that last possession. But I will tell you this. I texted a couple of my friends that I know that are officials on Division I and Division II levels, and I got conflicting feedback on whether or not they should have called a timeout when it was 4.1 to go, because there was not that the timeout was granted when the ball was loose. That just is what it is. And Bucky was able to set up that possession, but ultimately just better defense won out in that final possession. Also on the docket tomorrow, Kentucky at Florida. That game will be over on Talk Radio WZZN with a 1:45 pregame, 2 o'clock tip time. Incidentally, that game will be on ABC. And Alabama is at home to South Carolina. Auburn has an intriguing road game at Arkansas. And I know it's been a tough stretch here for Auburn, but boy, they've already got a big win on the road at Florida earlier in the year. And it could be equally as big if they go into Bud Walton. But that's a tall task. Acuff is playing really well, and that Arkansas team is awfully good. And that's a tough ask, but I think Auburn's capable. I do. I'm not just putting it out there. I think Auburn is capable. Now, am I expecting Auburn to win tomorrow? No, I'm not, at Arkansas, but I think they're fully capable of winning tomorrow, Drew.
Well, they are. They beat the hell out of Arkansas the first time. But that's the reason I think they may be in a little bit of trouble, because I would think Calipari would have his team ready after that embarrassment.
You would think.
And now, are they capable of winning in Bud Walton? Absolutely. But here's also the thing, the underlying issue that happened in that game against Vanderbilt is Keyshawn Hall got benched the last 12 plus minutes for not giving good effort.
Yeah.
And so he's their best player. Pettiford has been playing better lately, but they got to have both those guys playing well to win in Bud Walton.
Let's jump out to the phone line. Sorry, Drew.
No, I was just going to say I think it's a dangerous game. Auburn's still got a very strong resume, and I kind of played their schedule out earlier this week on Talkin Ball. I think they've got a chance to still be a 19-12 type team and win 10 or 11 games in the SEC. But this one right here might be a tough one. But if they could get a sweep of Arkansas, it'd be monumental.
Let's talk. I'm going to give this a stab here, Brody. Floyd on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. How are you, Floyd?
Doing good, guys. How are y'all?
This is Floyd. And Steve, I'll give you one small backstory, and Floyd knows what I'm going to say. He played with Lenny Patrick at Walker County High School.
Nice.
That's true. That's true. I was calling in reference to something along the lines. I understand that Coach Burns is bringing Jasper to Lee of Huntsville.
That's correct. That's the crossover. Lee upset Hazel Green in the Area 16 tournament won 2 out of 3 against the Trojans. That's a really tough place to play. I know Heath Burns has done a good job revitalizing, and it's still hard for me to say Jasper High School. It's the Jasper Vikings now, but Coach Burns, state champion. At Cordova, he did a great job at Dora. He's done it at Parrish as well. He reached the state championship game. But I know that they've had a good year at Jasper, and now they have to come up and play at Lee of Huntsville. Floyd? Is it tonight or Saturday?
I think it's Saturday.
I think it is too. I think it is Saturday. Double check that.
And that's one thing I was calling about. That I looked on Max Preps and hate to give them a plug, but it said it was going to be a neutral site game. Is that going to be played at Lee?
Yeah, it'll be at Lee. Because in 1 through 6A, when you win the area tournament, the winner hosts the sub-regional before to qualify for regionals, and the runner-up has to travel. So the Hazel Green Trojans are going to be traveling, and they've got to travel to the Coleman Bearcats and good friend Stu Studeman. So that's and Stu, by the way, shout out to Stu, just became a father in the last several days. He had a daughter. So now an aunt is our good friend Les Studeman.
There you go. Hall of Famer.
Apparently Jasper and Coleman, I think Jasper took the 2 regular season games, but lost the final to the area tournament. So, but anyway, I was just checking to make sure I was correct in that. I'm like Steve. I wish they would make out a bracket so you could.
Steve's with you.
Can I get a bracket? Can I get an amen?
Yeah, and since I'll put a plug in for. Coach Jonas at DAR, the way I understand it, they're going to Alexandria and playing. So, he's doing a good job up there. I live in Grant now, so but that's what I was wondering about. I was wondering about the Jasper Walker County league game.
Yeah, and it is kind of frustrating because I went to the HSAA and it was 64-56 the other night. Lee beats Hazel Green, but I'm not sure that. Yeah, they haven't even updated it.
Can I get a bracket? I get a bracket, please?
I know the Reverend is still working before they replace him still, so I wish that they.
I wish I could just throw it completely on Ron Ingram, but
it's not all his fault.
It's not on Ron Ingram.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate the phone call, Floyd. 256-576-4.
They do have a link to report the sub-regional result.
Yeah,
but I don't see the matchups on here. I just see the brackets.
I don't either. I can tell you the some of the area winners included Homewood. They were winners in 6A boys area 9. And
that's your boy Elijah Garrison.
Yeah, that is a little tie in there to the UH Charger basketball program. And Elijah Garrison, who is the head boys basketball coach. Oxford, a team that has that resume of being a Huntsville City Classic team. They were winners in 6A area 11. No surprise there, at least from my perspective, Drew, on Oxford attaining that area championship. Coleman, as you mentioned, winners. So is Gadsden City. Muscle Shoals won 6A area 15. Lee, a winner, and it was at Hazel Green, but a nice job by the Generals to get it done on the road. And they're moving on. And what are some other teams? I know tomorrow is the area championship game for Huntsville and Sparkman. Mm-hmm. I see Plainview won 4A area 16. The Madison Academy area, looks
the
like
ladies
they are
got
not
upset by JP2.
Did they?
Yes, they're done.
Really?
They got upset on their home floor. I'm assuming that Madison Academy, the boys were hosting as well. And I think they won, but I haven't seen a final.
At least according to the SI site that takes you over to the bracket, they have. I don't know. I'll double check because I'm actually on that email service for Madison Academy, which is very helpful as well. Most schools have their own apps that help out quite a bit. I know Huntsville High has an app as well to kind of navigate through all this mess. The fact that we don't have a bracket at the moment. What we do need to do is take a time out. Phone lines open to you here on this Friday morning. It's Talkin Ball right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The Orthopedic Center. It's in the name. TOC, the premier choice for all your orthopedic needs. With over 40 physicians and 20 centers of excellence, TOC is the name to trust for complete, expert orthopedic care. And that word center, we mean it. With more than a dozen locations across North Alabama and the Tennessee Valley, TOC is in your community whenever you need us. As the state's largest orthopedic practice, TOC is built on trust. Trust we've earned with every patient we serve. You can see that trust on the field, too. As the official sports medicine provider for the Huntsville Havoc, Huntsville City Football Club, Oakwood and Alabama A&M universities, thousands of athletes and coaches count on TOC to keep them in the game. From student athletes to unexpected injuries, our urgent ortho clinics offer prompt, expert care. No appointment necessary. So remember, when it comes to your health and mobility, trust the name that says it all. TOC, helping you live a better life.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at All About Water. Crazy name, huh? Well, let me introduce you to them. All About Water is the top pond builder anywhere in the Tennessee Valley, and that includes remodeling or cleaning out existing ponds as well. They also have monthly maintenance plans for your pond. Don't have a pond? Well, how about a fountain or water feature for your property to bring that soothing sound of running water to your happy place? On the other hand, maybe you have water on your property that you don't want. Well, Ryan at All About Water is all about water, so he could take care of that as well. He has a background in fluid dynamics, and what that means is that he could take care of any water issue that you have. Finally, how about that irrigation system that you have or that you want? Well, they do installs and maintenance and repairs on those as well, because they are all about water. Learn more at allaboutwaterllc.com. That's allaboutwaterllc.com.
Hey folks, Arthur Seed, managing partner at University Kia, letting you know we are proud supporters of Alabama and Auburn football. Swing by University Kia today and check out our huge selections of brand new Kias, including the spacious Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the slick new K5, the sporty Kia Seltos. We've got perfect cars for every lifestyle and budget. Visit universitykia.com to view all our amazing offers and get pre-approved amenities, because we want to see you in a Kia. Roll Tide, War Eagle.
Talkin Ball with Scott Tyson and Drew DeArmond. Weekday mornings beginning at 7 a.m. only on 97.7 ESPN and the 97.7 ESPN The Zone app.
Friday edition of Talkin Ball. He's Drew DeArmond. I'm Steve Moulton. Brody and John behind the glass. As I'm in Memphis, Tennessee.
Actually,
Drew
no
is
John.
in the studio.
No John. John is
That's right. He's taken, I hear he's taken summer on a sabbatical.
Yeah, he's
here
taking
this weekend.
He's on a Tom Abraham, a 4-day vacation.
So what's the over-under on when I can expect a text from Tom of, hey, I can't log into the system. It's because I'm on the system. Yeah, because I'm in Memphis, and he'll need to log into the same system that we utilize for remotes. And Tom, utilizes that system quite well. Yeah. I did look it up, by the way, and Madison Academy did, in fact, win the area championship.
Yeah, they had beaten West Limestone in the semifinals, and I was just looking on the HSAA site. And
they haven't updated.
They haven't updated. Yeah. I didn't know, but I figured that there was a good chance Madison Academy had won.
All it says in the email of the service that Madison Academy provides is the area champs. So I don't know who they beat, but it was either Westminster Christian or Randolph.
It was Westminster.
Regard. Was it? Okay. Yes. Gotcha. I did not know that answer. So good to know. Also good to know is the tongue lashing that Judge Robert Whitwell went on yesterday. The ruling that was handed down yesterday in the state of Mississippi to allow a extra year of eligibility for the Ole Miss quarterback there. And goodness. And I've just had a moment there. But here is what the judge had to say about the lawyers moving on and not even hearing the final ruling.
When the court broke to go in chambers probably about an hour ago, I made an announcement that actually to the crowd that anybody could stay if they wanted to or leave. I didn't instruct the lawyers to leave, to go anywhere. I've been advised that they have now left the premises, and the sheriff has confirmed to me that they're not in the courtroom and they're not in the parking lot. And they have told somebody that they had to be in Knoxville, Tennessee, and they were leaving. That's not the way it works. The court will, at some point, issue a show cause order to see why these defense lawyers should not be held in contempt of court and sanctioned by the court for their failure to be here for the ruling. They know better than to leave before the court makes its final decision. Now, I'm prepared.
Goodness. It's the judge has every right to do that, by the way. Why the lawyers did not stick around, I think once again makes the NCAA not look all that great. And these are lawyers paid by the NCAA. So and I know there's another case going on today up in Knoxville, Tennessee with Joey Aguilar. And at least from a lot of the people that I follow on Twitter, Drew, it looks like it's kind of the same path where it does not look good for the NCAA, given this ruling that happened yesterday in the state of Mississippi. I don't know I knew more of the factors in the Trinidad case than I do in the Aguilar, but I know he was tied to Diego before he broke off and kind of did his own thing. but this is I looked it up yesterday. There is currently, with this being ruled on yesterday, still a total of 86 lawsuits that are currently in the court systems involving the NCAA. So it's just nonstop for the NCAA. And please go ahead.
No, I was just going to say it doesn't involve Alabama basketball, so I guess the NCAA is going to lose. At least that's what it feels like. And
but
again,
there's only been one case that has had any representation by the commissioner of the Southeastern Conference.
Yeah,
that to me, that is why I would just love to know what led to that decision, because it wasn't immediate as well there for the commissioner. It just, timing is everything. And this commissioner doesn't do anything without thinking it through. And
right.
I would just like to get his thought process on what gave you, what was the need to voice that opinion. And then what? Because that was on a Thursday, and we got the ruling on Monday about Bediako. So
I'll be honest. That's of this whole process, that was the most surprising move to me.
Yeah, I would just like a little more clarity, more than anything.
Right.
But something tells me we're not going to get that. But all we can do is ask. And I have emailed the commissioner. And he did reply to me, but it was in regards to some interviews that we did on the drive. But I did reply to him off of his reply to that question in particular of what made it necessary. How did I word it? What made it necessary for you to speak out publicly against Charles Bediako? And anyway, that was the question I asked the commissioner. Whether or not I get a reply, we shall see. But, all I can do is ask more than anything.
I don't know. Just tell him you work for Charles Bediako's lawyers.
I'm not sure that would expedite things, Drew. But anyway, 256-576-4977 coming up at the top of the hour. It'll be the Tom Abraham Show. And then following that, of course, is Rich Eisen from noon to 2, Paul Feinbaum, and then the drive later on this evening. But I'm going to put some stuff together as I'll be traveling, as we're actually traveling in the afternoon/evening as we're going here from Memphis, Tennessee to Jackson, Tennessee. So got a lot to pull from, including I went through some of the old files in Learfield and found this 30-minute show that was from Bo Schembechler, of all people. And everybody, especially in the state of Alabama, knows about the friendship that Bo had with Bear Bryant.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just fascinating. So I may stick that in the show here this afternoon for those to enjoy. And, of course, the SEC basketball report as well. And I felt like we've done quite a bit of that already here today, setting the table for SEC basketball coming up tomorrow. But coming up on the other side, we will preview the championship game for 7A Area 7. We've already heard from Christian Schweers. We'll hear from the Sparkman head boys basketball coach and Obadiah Threadgill as let's see whether or not third time's the charm here, as this is the fourth meeting as it happened 2 times during the regular season, 1 time, of course, in the Huntsville City Classic, and now here getting ready for tomorrow night over there at Huntsville High. So actually the 4th meeting between Sparkman and Huntsville High, and we'll talk to Coach Threadgill on the other side of this timeout. It is Talkin Ball, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
You're listening to Talkin Ball on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A partly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the mid and upper 50s. A couple of folks could see the lower 60s. We drop into the upper 30s, lower 40s as we head into the overnight. Valentine's Day is going to come with plenty of cloud cover and scattered showers across the Tennessee Valley. Temperatures climbing into the lower 60s. Better chances for rain on Sunday.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
The crimson and white jerseys.
Front court to the rack and the plunge.
The sound of a buzzer beater.
Got it to go as the buzzer sounds.
The Roll Tide chant from the crowd. It can only be Alabama basketball. Join the Alabama Crimson Tide right here on your home for Alabama basketball.
Listen to Alabama basketball all season long on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
From heirloom diamonds to contemporary jewels, Loring & Company is the place to find something truly special. Whether shopping for a diamond ring for that once-in-a-lifetime occasion or marking a milestone birthday or personal achievement with a Rolex watch, you'll find just the thing in our edit of the world's most sought-after brands, including David Yurman, Roberto Coin, Marco Bicego, and Fopay. Expect a treasure trove of the world's most unique, even breathtaking earrings, rings, necklaces, and bracelets, making choosing just one piece a challenge in itself. Loring & Company Jewelers on Airport Road.
You've got to experience Toyotathon at Bill Penny Toyota. They've got the selection with over 700 new Toyotas to choose from. And they've got the extras with Bill Penny perks and a 10-year unlimited warranty. So get on over to Bill Penny Toyota today and experience Toyotathon. Bill Penny Toyota in Huntsville and online at BillPennyToyota.com. Bill Penny's Toyota 10-year unlimited warranty is valid through the 10th year of ownership. Valid on new vehicles only. See dealer for details.
Welcome to Kern Electrical, where teamwork powers every project. Our champion sales team takes time to understand your needs, tailoring the perfect Generac generator for your home or business. Our project managers handle all coordination, ensuring a tackle-free installation. Our certified installation crews ensure peace of mind, even in the darkest moments. With our service and maintenance lineups, you can be assured we're with you every step of the way. Experience the home team advantage of Kern Electrical, your Generac superstore.
Most current way to keep your power on. GeneracSuperstore.com.
In the market for a new or used car? Look no further than Hyundai of Decatur. With a large inventory of new, used, and certified pre-owned Hyundai models, Greenway Hyundai of Decatur is here to service all of your Hyundai needs. Come visit our exceptional service department as well. With state-of-the-art facilities and a caring team of automotive professionals waiting to service your vehicle, make Hyundai of Decatur your #1 choice for all your automotive needs. Give them a call today at 256-274-0279 or visit them online at greenwayhyundaiofdecatur.com.
Hey folks, Arthur Seed, managing partner at University Kia, letting you know we are proud supporters of Alabama and Auburn football. Swing by University Kia today and check out our huge selections of brand new Kias, including the spacious Telluride 8-passenger SUV, the slick new K5, the sporty Kia Seltos. We've got perfect cars for every lifestyle and budget. Visit universitykia.com to view all our amazing offers and get pre-approved amenities, because we want to see you in a Kia. Roll Tide, War Eagle.
The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Is it any wonder I got too much time on my hands?
Back here on Talkin Ball. Rudy Armand, Steve Moulton here with you on a Friday morning. And as we chronicled earlier in the show, Drew, not the first time an area championship will be decided between Huntsville and Sparkman.
No, there's been a long history. Jamie Coggins had a great 12-year run at Sparkman and reached the state championship game, reached multiple Final Fours, and did a great job with that program, won a couple of Huntsville City Classic championships, and he had big shoes to fill. He's now coaching at Fayetteville High School across the state line. His longtime assistant, David Hughes, retired as well. And so certainly Sparkman has always been, Stanley Stafford did such an amazing job there. Tim Willoughby, Frank Stevens. There's been a long list of coaches that have done an outstanding job. And our next guest is in his second year, and he's doing a great job as well. He won a state championship at Lafayette. That's how you say it, Lafayette. In 2015, played in the finals in 2013, spent 3 years at Pike Road outside of Montgomery, went 31-1 1 year there. And now is already, as you heard Christian Schweers say this morning, put his thumb on this program and started to turn it around very, very quickly. And that is Obadiah Threadgill. And he's taking some time out of a very busy schedule. They have a short prep for Huntsville, and it'll be already, as we said, the fourth meeting between these two outstanding programs. Had his team ranked in the top 10 in 7A pretty much the entire season, has done an amazing job. And it's a young group. Both these teams are very young, and yet they've played at a very high level. And we look forward to talking some Sparkman Senator basketball with Coach Threadgill right now on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline. Coach, this is Drew DeArmond, and you're with Steve Moulton. How are you this morning, sir?
I'm doing well, man. Good morning to you, gentlemen. I hope all is well.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Well, quite a journey for your guys here this year, and I've been able to watch a couple of games this year. But as a whole, how would you say your team has grown throughout the year, Coach?
These guys have matured because they are so young.
Yes.
You know, they play extremely hard. And I like to think that they're well coached. So they play hard. They believe in each other. So that their mental toughness has come a long way. You know, so I'm proud of them for enduring. You know, because I am tough on them, and they don't always like. You know, they don't always see the benefit of, you know, how strict I am with our program. But they're responding quite nicely now, and they are seeing some of the fruits of their labor. So I'm extremely thankful and proud of them for that.
Well, and one guy that stood out to me last night, Coach, he's played in your rotation all year, but I hadn't seen him start until last night, and he may have been starting lately, but he had 10 points for you. He does a lot of dirty work. He made 2 big threes, and it shows you what a long season it is, and it's the longest season on the high school calendar when you start in early November, and now we're talking about we're in mid-February now. But I thought Miles Johnson did a lot of good things for you last night, Coach.
Man, Miles is one of our 4 seniors. You know, and Miles is actually a kid that has been cut from the program, you know, before I was here. He knows how special this program is, and he knows how special his time is, you know, to play high school basketball. And he was starting early in the year, but we started to make a few changes, and we really got our ball rolling. But he's one of our seniors. He's mature. He's one of our leaders on our team, and he stays ready. So whenever we call on him, he's ready to go play. He had a big game against Bob Jones last week, and came out with that same energy. You know, our team, like everybody else in Huntsville, has been struggling with this flu bug that's been going around. And, you know, 2 days before we played, we had 5 kids not practicing. So having to be flexible in our thought process, having contingency plans, just trying to prepare for every possible scenario, you know, and for Miles to be able to step in there and not be gun shy. You know, he got some open looks, and he took advantage of them, and he knocked them down, you know, and so we're proud of him for that and looking for more of it.
Coach, the last time I saw you was at Huntsville High. I can't – the only reason I'm going here, Coach, is whether or not maybe a discussion or two, because missed free throws were a big part of that deal at Huntsville High, played them within 5, but of getting that opportunity – to right or wrong, if you know what I mean, Coach.
Yeah, we know that, you know, no matter what our scheme is, no matter if we play zone or we play man, or no matter, you know, how we choose to try to deal with the big fella or try to deal with, you know, with their guard play. It doesn't matter what we do. It doesn't matter what I say. If we don't value the basketball and, you know, take care of the basketball, if we don't make free throws, you know, those 2 things in the game, if we don't take advantage of those, we're really going to struggle. So, you know, it's just calming ourselves. You know, we shoot a ton of free throws in practice, but it's mentally putting ourselves in a space where we can feel what it feels like in the game. And all these kids have been in games, you know, middle school, freshman ball, 9th grade ball, where they've been on that line. in some pivotal moments. And just having to embrace that moment and, not be fearful of it. Not worry about not really so much worry about the outcome. Just one shot at a time. Just doing the things that you're supposed to do. Putting yourself in the with the right, psychological dispositions to just go get it done. And that's just what we got to do. Both games we played these guys 3 times already.
Mm-hmm.
And the last game, they kind of got the best of us. But the first 2 games, we were right there.
Oh,
and free throws were huge. But Huntsville missed some too. But we just got to take advantage of what we can take advantage of and control what we can control. But that's all we really can do. These guys understand what's at stake. And, at the end of the day, it's a game we playing. At the end of the day, it's a game. It's not life or death. It's a game. And so we prepare, we practice, we work hard. And, when those moments are there, we just got to take advantage of them.
Well, and I've got to say, too, you've got 2 guards that are – and they're going to be fun to watch for the next 2 years because Landon Howard was huge last night. He had 20. He made some big shots, especially down the stretch in the fourth quarter. It's what I talk about, knocking down free throws, making plays in the open court. Your dudes have to be dudes. But young Mr. Williams as well, he's just a sophomore. He made some big shots against Huntsville earlier in the season, and I thought he was one of the keys in the first quarter. I know Albertville did a counter punch and got right back in the game by halftime, but still starting to get and built that 19-5 lead in a drop-dead game. To me, the start you get off to is huge in these elimination games, Coach.
These guys, those guys are extremely talented. And, they are young. Landon Howard, I don't think he's even turned 16 yet. I think he's about to turn 16. Or he may have just turned 16. These guys are a lot of fun to work with, to watch their growth, to watch their development from where it was when I arrived here. They were already both really good. They were already they both shoot the ball well. They both handle the ball well. They both pass the ball really well. So, it is fun to watch them play. And they do a tremendous job. Landon has been one of our best players all year.
Yes.
And D. Williams, is D. Williams maybe the first kid on our team with a college offer because he already has one.
Really?
And so he's long, he's lanky, he's fearless. He's just a really tough-minded young man, and I'm thankful to be able to work with him every day.
Well, and I think, Coach, but the key to this team, you have outstanding guard play, and we've talked about some of them. You have also a senior in Tyreek Clark. I know he didn't play as much last night, but he's played a lot of minutes for you. His dad, Tim Clark, outstanding coach in the community. He's been, he's coached at Mae Jemison. He's coached at Huntsville High. I saw him last night. But I got to say, the key, though, if you guys are going to make a deep run, is keeping Zach Johnson and Landon Malone out of foul trouble, because Landon has a knack of rebounding that he's only about 6'3", but he doesn't play that way. To me, he plays like he's 6'7", 6'8". And then Zach, his issue has always been foul trouble, but he's another guy that gives you some physical presence in there.
It's just one of those things about us just staying disciplined, us being mentally tough. Those guys are really, really good kids, and they want so badly to do their best. It's one of those things where emotions have to be in check. Zach is such a special player for us because everything that he does doesn't show up in the stat line. He guards the best players inside every game. He gets the hardest matchups of any kid that's over 6'4", 6'5". They automatically go to Zach. Doesn't matter who it is, doesn't matter where we are. So for him to be able to discipline himself to just to play vertical, that's all he has to do. Be physical, play vertical. If they score, they score. We told him last night, look, man, Yancey has offers from every junior college in the state. You are not going to hold him scoreless. There's no need of you giving him and one. If you make a good play, you get vertical, and he scored. And so we just have to stay mentally strong. Landon is one of those kids that, like you just said, he runs the floor, he rebounds well, he great hands, great feel around the basket, plays with high energy, high motor, and he's also a special player. He surely does not play the 6'3.5", 6'4".
He sure don't.
He plays much bigger. But he's one of those kids that's been struggling with some sickness. So is Tyreek. You know, a couple of days ago, Tyreek couldn't make it to school.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we're having to get some contributions from some other guys. You know, and so we were just able to stay ready. You know, with the available guys that were there. So, but as you're right, those two guys are so important for us. Because we also guard heavy, but those guys are in their files and their minutes, and you know where they are mentally is very, very important to our overall team success.
Well, and I thought it was key too because he didn't have a big scoring game, but he's really played well against Huntsville. And I know he's got some small college offers as well. I feel like I've been watching him for 15 years, but one of your seniors, I call him Opie affectionately, aka Eli Bannister.
Bannister.
Yeah, he's steady as she goes, Coach. He's always there. He's always a steady force for you, making plays. And I know he and the rest of these guards, along with your two bigs, they're going to be their ability to take care of the ball Saturday and then to make big shots are going to be a key to trying to beat this Huntsville team.
Well, I know these guys are gonna make shots. Like you just said, I couldn't have used better words. As Eli as steady as they go. He's been available, you know, every game, and he's capable of erupting like a volcano.
Yeah.
You know, but so is Landon, so is D, so is Jeremiah. You know, we got guys that can spark from outside. You know, and if we can get a couple of them going, you know, our chances dramatically improve. But like you said, taking care of the ball, playing good defense, those rebounding the basketball, making your free throws, those are things that travel well. You know, the way we communicate, the way we fly around, the effort that we play with, those things travel well. So it doesn't matter if we get off to a great start or, you know, a not so great start. You know, it's the team that competes the best for 32 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Coach, I can't help but ask from over the summer to when you start to see what your team's going to look like. How competitive was the summer, and did you think, boy, this team could be something at some point in October before the schedule started for you, Coach?
Well, I knew that this team could be a special group. We had a very competitive summer, and we went to Birmingham, we went to Memphis, and we went to Montgomery, Alabama State. We played. It was very competitive, and I really got a chance to see some really good things out of guys. I thought Miles had maybe the best summer out of all our guys individually, and so when you get into the season, obviously kids and their families, and this community have expectations for them, and so then my job is to number one, I do support our kids, but our overall team success has to be first. So trying to make sure everything fits and keeping guys, trying to keep guys happy somewhat or mentally in the right place, that can be challenging when you're dressing out 14 or 15 guys when these kids come from middle school and they play the whole game. So, but I knew that these guys were going to be competitive. Now, would we figure out how to win close games? Would we figure out how to slow ourselves down and play with poise? Would we figure out that we needed to be more physical? Like I tell guys all the time, Sparkman is my first time coaching 7A basketball, and to me, 7A basketball, the size and the strength of 7A basketball is what makes it different. It's not always the fastest basketball, but it sure is the strongest and the most physical. So that we have to adjust to that. We have to be in the weight room. We have to eat the right things. We have to drink the right things. We have to do the right things if we're going to compete at this level consistently. And so that's where our guys have made the biggest jump, is in their bodies and in their minds, and just being patient, trying to run their offense, Just trying to trust the process and trust me and trust our staff, and then, because they trust each other. These kids trust each other. They love each other. So they'll do anything for each other. And so just for me to be the new person in and to get them to kind of understand what I'm saying and where I'm coming from, and I'm very open and honest with them, I think that's where the most growth has taken place. But yeah, man, this group can be as special as anybody, and for them to be ranked in the top 10 all year, that just shows how much they work. So these kids are always in the gym. They spend a lot of time with me, a lot more with me than they do with their own families, and in turn, I spend more time with them than I do with my own family. So at some point, that root has to take hold.
Well, and certainly we're looking forward to the matchup at 6:00 on Saturday night, Coach. And I know your kids, there's been a long history. You've already seen this team 3 times, so you mentioned it already in the conversation. But you get another shot at them for an area championship, and you already know you're going to Jacksonville State. But I know they're looking forward to the opportunity to compete and try to win a 7A Area 7 title.
That's right, man. We're excited about the opportunity. We know it won't be an easy task, and we're preparing ourselves for 32 minutes of war. And that's just what that's just what it's going to be. It's going to be no frills, nothing easy, and we don't want it that way. So we are game, and we know it's going to be what it's going to be, and we want it. We accept the challenge.
Well, we certainly
have. You ever played a team 4 times in 1 year, Coach?
Yeah.
I have, man. Some of my time at Lafayette.
There it is, Lafayette. I learned that the hard way, Coach. I got chastised at the state tournament one year.
They'll get you, man. They'll get you down there. That's what they serious about their basketball. But Lynette is right down the road, and Lynette has had some really good teams.
Mm-hmm.
And and for I was there 10 years. For a 10-year stretch, one of us was in the Final Four.
Yeah.
And we were always in the same region. So if you're gonna make it to the Final Four, it's some kind of way it was going to roll through Chambers County, some kind of way. And so this is not unfamiliar territory for me, but it may be for our kids, and it may be for our community. So
there's some benefit to that, Coach.
Sir.
Right, there is some benefit for that for experience in this from your position, Coach.
For sure. It's just business as usual, though. It's one of those things, man, where each team, even with Abbeville, like each team knows everything. Coach Schweers knows everything about our team, personnel wise, the offensive formation. Joker smart, and that Joker knows everything about. He knows everything about our team, as do we. Or we know very much. So it's gonna come down to who's able to make enough plays. That's what it's gonna boil down to. It's not gonna come down to me calling some fancy play. And it can very well be Landon Howard coming down doing something that I've never seen him do, and D. Williams coming down doing something that I've never seen him do, and I'm or Miles making some shot that I've never seen him even take. It may come down to that, but whatever it is, we are excited about the opportunity to go and play and represent our side of town. And so we look forward to it. We're going to practice a little bit today, but we look forward to the opportunity, and we are thrilled about it.
Well, we're really appreciative of you for taking some time to talk some Senators basketball. Everybody get healthy, and we'll see you on Saturday night. Thank you for the time, Coach.
Good deal, man. Y'all have a good day. Thank you all.
And now we need to take our final break and wrap up this
wait a second.
3-hour tour.
Wait a second. I'm seeing not enough time now.
Are we not taking a break now, bro? Okay.
Are we good now? I
guess we're wrapping
for the
up
record,
the 3-hour tour.
Joe Hunk missed 2 breaks yesterday?
Oh, hell. We had Rob Vaughn on for crying out loud.
So then I also missed 2 breaks today. So
we miss the breaks every now and then. It's about the conversation.
Yeah.
I know Scott would be having to pop a rice cake or something to get on his nerves so bad. But
Papa rice cake.
He loves the rice cakes. I'd be smelling peanut butter and bananas by now.
Well, that's his pregame meal before he goes and works out. The fact that he's putting electrodes on his body right now.
No, but you should have seen it when he forgot them the other day. We did the Dunkin', and he had John go pick up his Dunkin' Donuts with a egg white and turkey wrap, man, and he downed that in like 2 bites.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Yeah.
Well, it'll be a lot of fun tomorrow night over at Huntsville High School. I wish I was in town, but I am not. But I know you'll be front and center there tomorrow night. But I you know what? I wouldn't put anything past this Senator team. It's the first matchup did involve the shot clock. The other matchups do not involve a shot clock.
The shot clock was the Huntsville City Classic. The other two did not. And, and one of them was a great game. Huntsville did play very well defensively, and Sparkman was a little off at home, but I expect their best effort. Hopefully David Harrison will be back, and then their guys will be healthy. And it should be a heck of a matchup at 6 o'clock on Billy Watkins Avenue over at the Huntsville Gym. Last time to see this team at HHS, so come out and support these two squads. It should be some great basketball. And then great basketball on Saturday. You'll see Alabama, taking on South Carolina at 7:30. And you'll hear that game of 97.7 The Zone. Auburn going to Arkansas in the afternoon. And then what a doubleheader for the UAH, and what an opportunity for the ladies and the men at Union.
Shout out to the Alabama A&M women. They were winners last night up on the hill against Arkansas Pine Bluff, 82-54. Alabama A&M's women now 11-1 in SWAC play, in first place in the SWAC. And we've had conversations in the past about the Rocket City Awards, and their head coach has been a Rocket City Awards recipient. And there's a lot of really good women's basketball here in North Alabama with Alabama A&M and UAH.
No doubt.
So a lot Alabama A&M back at home tomorrow as well. That'll wrap up our 3-hour tour. The 3-hour tour is done. Tom Abraham is next. Talk to you later.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive